What up, boys? What up, boys? Little 10:30 stream. What we thinking? I'm loving it. I'm loving tonight's 10:30 stream. That's what I got to say about it. What's poppin' to Dundaughter? Shout out Dundaughter for being first in the chat. Shout out my boy Dundaughter. Saying big up, homie. Then we got MLE St. Perry's finishing up his pizza. Be patient, guys. He'll be right in a minute. Yeah, and we'll get off to a bit of a slow start this evening, so we're not in any rush. I'll be on here for a little minute for you guys. We got a lot of stuff to cover. So, oh shit, we had Karate Combat 10 go down, I don't know, 10 hours ago in Russia. Didn't even know about it. Been such a busy week. Anyway, yeah, we'll get off to a bit of a slow start. So chop it up in the chat if you guys want to drop some opinions. Now is the time, because once we get started, it's going to be harder to read some chats. I'll be like peering into the chat, from time to time as each topic kind of concludes, but now would be the time for some conversation. If anybody has some thoughts they want to get off their chest or run by me, anything combat sports related, now would be the time. I think I'm going to be making I'm going to make a little IG post about Nina drama confronting Giorgio, after Giorgio, made the let me get a date with your girlfriend Nina comments to Arman. Then Nina drama was in the building. Nina drama walks up to Giorgio and confronts him. I got some stuff to say about that. So I want to make that post so that we can kind of react to it on the channel, right? So if I don't got the post done on my IG, then we got to do it somewhere else. And I prefer to just to have it all on my IG. So, yeah, boys, drop some thoughts in the chat. Juice says we got Ariel's back on this one. I know he's referring to Ariel Helwani, and I haven't even mentioned that. Yet. But yes, Ariel Helwani confronted by pro-Palestine protesters in Canada. Now, a little spoiler alert. This will be the cliffhanger, because Juice saying, we got Ariel's back on this one. And, initially I did. But this is going to be like a complete 180 curveball for you boys. You guys are going to be shook. But it's like, yeah, initially I did have Ariel's back, and I pretty much do have Ariel's back, I think it's pretty goofy of homie to go walk up to him and confront him like how he did. So, kind of goofy. But MMA Joey, of all people, actually obliged me today. What do I mean by MMA Joey obliged me? MMA Joey, he's been doing some digging on Ariel after this video surfaced. And there's two clips that MMA Joey posted on X today. And when I say he obliged me, I mean he did what I've been asking for. Stop implying things. Just fucking say it, and say it with your chest, right? And I think I'm one of the only people who actually does that, instead of like hinting at things or like, saying it without saying it. Just say it, bro, so we can all understand. And Joey did that today. Joey posted two clips from Ariel's platform. One of those two clips is of him speaking about this encounter. This encounter was, it happened maybe like a couple weeks ago. I don't know. I don't keep up with Ariel like that. But I know Ariel basically already hopped on his show and got ahead of this video coming out, and he addressed it. All right. So Ariel already basically addressed this video like retroactively. Not really retroactively, but you get what I mean. Like before it even came out, right? He already like tried to put cold water on it. But it's interesting because, well, there's just some thoughts I have about it. Some of it is just Ariel being Ariel, and some of it is let's just leave it at that for now. Some of it is Ariel being Ariel, and when I rewatch the clip, it'll come to me again. But the other clip is of Ariel, speaking on the US-Iran war on behalf of Israel. We fighting Israel's war, and he was speaking about that, and he's so happy. He's so happy, that we're fighting Israel's war. Yet, we're not happy about that. Us American citizens, we're not necessarily happy about that. And I would even take it a step further and say, you know, the parents of soldiers are not necessarily happy that their kids are in Iran right now, you know, fighting a war, you know, that's really Israel's to be fighting, right? Netanyahu getting us into this shit. And this clip right here, stay tuned because I did attach the South Park clip of Kyle's mom going to Israel and confronting Netanyahu. So make sure you stay tuned because this is literally a fucking South Park clip in the making. If you know, you know. But when Kyle's mom goes and visits Netanyahu, and she's like, "You're making life for Jews in America hard." Like this is the exact clip right here. This is the exact reason why she went to go visit Netanyahu, from that South Park episode. So yeah, we'll leave a big cliffhanger on this one for now. But yeah, that's the situation with this. So Jude, like I said, you know, I know you say we got Ariel's back. I kind of do have his back. It's almost like this for me. I'll give you guys a spoiler and then we'll explain into it later. You guys can find out why I landed on this perspective. But it's like is what these people did goofy? Yes. What these people did is goofy, right? I'm not going to deny it. What they did is goofy. Going up to anybody who's with their family and just getting on them, I get it. But the catch is these clips that Joey dropped. You know, because Ariel isn't just like this comment says, right? This comment got 50 responses. And you know, it says bro does MMA media stuff. That's like me harassing NBA media coverage. But, you know, Ariel has spoken about this stuff and he's co-signed, you know, everything Israel related, right? Whether it's against Gaza, whether it's the US stepping into the Iran war, right? Ariel has been on his platform and he's co-signed this stuff. And so, you know, that is why maybe, you know, he can say this to you. If you can say this on your platform, right? If you can speak about your thoughts about Gaza and us being in the Iran war, then, you know, I think it's fair game. Because if somebody were to come up to me as I'm speaking about some of these things right now, you guys know I'm a bit more woke than the average person. If someone came up to me and spoke to me about this stuff, I'm not going to fall behind that card of like, guys, I just cover MMA, leave me alone. It's kind of a catch. It's kind of a catch there, you know? Like I know what I say and what I do, and I'm never somebody to play a like well, you know, like somebody said in the chat, you know, victim card and be like, guys, why are you mad at me? I just cover MMA. No, I know what I fucking said in the past. I know what I've said in the past. And I would never fall under a guise like that. So I'm not saying Ariel's falling under that guise, but what I'm saying is, you know, Ariel, he has spoken about these issues on his platform. Somebody's calling him out and saying, you know, you should actually use your platform to help the people in Palestine, not co-sign what's been happening, right? And so if Ariel never necessarily co-signed what's been happening, homie would have never came up to him and said this to him, right? So that's a little bit of a catch there. Like I said, this will be a cliffhanger for you boys. All right, we're gonna get into it, but like I said, we're starting off slow here. I wanted to make a post, so I would like to make that post right now so that we can just avoid more interruptions. You know, the rest of the stream is going to be like hot fire. We got a lot of good stuff coming for this stream. You know, a big weekend of fights. Before I make this post, let me just give you guys this little tidbit. Okay, we just had karate combat in Russia, apparently. But on top of that, we got Moses Italma. He's fighting tomorrow. You guys know that he's a heavyweight boxer. Very young. He was looking to become the youngest heavyweight champion since Mike Tyson. He didn't achieve it, but he's very good. He's very good. Moses Italma fighting tomorrow. Yoel Romero versus Vagabond is fighting in a bare knuckle fight tomorrow. There's PFL Pittsburgh tomorrow. Eblin versus Battle. There's RAF 07 Arman versus Giorgio. There's UFC Seattle Adesanya versus Pfeiffer. There's Keith Thurman versus Sebastian Fundora. So if I missed one, let me know. But I mean, these are all the things that we got to look into today. You know, all these guys faced off today. So we got to look at the Arman Giorgio face-off, Adesanya Pfeiffer face-off, Eblin Battle, you know, Yoel and shit like that. Pushing 50, looking good. So let me make this Nina drama post real quick. Everybody run up the likes on the stream, please. This will be that friendly reminder, boys. If you have not liked the stream, like the stream right now. We want 25 on the evening. Okay. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. We are in the midst of a 90-day live stream streak. We are 30 plus days in. We not even really keeping score, but we know we plus 30 days in on this 90-day streak. Respect the hustle. All right. And like the stream now. Now, let me just post this Nina drama clip. Bro, Nina thought she's in fucking like High School Musical going up to Giorgio, confronting his ass. Before some chats start flying in, let me read some stuff. Oh yeah, Hype FC got something going on. Okay, so MLE says let's start from today's RAF. It wouldn't be a problem. We could start with RAF. Whatever he called Ariel out, not like I care. Fair enough, Jez the Moose. Fair enough. I'm the last person who's gonna actually like. I would never come to Ariel's defense and like stick up for him. He could stick up for his own self, but I mean, yeah. So I guess I don't really care, but I care a little bit. Just not about like sticking up for Ariel. I'll speak what's right and wrong, but like I said, Ariel can stick up for his own self. He ain't never stuck his spine out for anybody. That fucking guy Ariel. Emily says Zionist. Jez says hilarious. Someone coming asking Ariel, if I was Ariel, I would have trolled them and said good. So the funny thing is, bro, is that you would think, right, that these guys just came up to Ariel. That's not the case, bro. Ariel opened his fucking mouth first. And that's one of the issues I have with him, bro. It's one of these things that nobody can ever prove, and a lot of people seem to like be super clueless when it comes to people like being passive aggressive and shit like that. And I mean, well, I don't want to make crazy examples, but I was just gonna say, I think it's something as little as calling somebody buddy. If you guys call me buddy in the chat, I don't really mind. I don't take any offense to it, just so you guys know. But like, if another man walks up to me, he's like, "Hey, bud, can you do this for me?" That shit is like super passive aggressive, right? And I'm just saying that like a lot of people think that that's not passive aggressive. I'm one of those people who do think that. So like, basically when I say Ariel was he kind of opened his mouth, it's going to be kind of passive aggressive. There's going to be like 50% of people who say he didn't say anything wrong. And then there's going to be 50% of people who are like, nah, I see what he did there. Like, I see what he did there. He didn't even have to open his mouth in the first place. He's trying to belittle these guys in a way. So, or be their superior. So stay tuned, because that was something, and that's just responding to Jez Demus saying, if I was Ariel, I would have trolled them and said good. But Ariel, Ariel opened that shit up, bro. Ariel, they were protesting, not even paying attention to him. I'm telling you guys that. And shout out to MMA Joey, because MMA Joey is the one who kind of like posted these clips. What's poppin', you retarded? Any updates from MMA Now last night if you popped into his stream? Emily says victim card. Bravo, Perry, you are a man. Thank you very much. I am, in fact, a man. Space Case says, hey, I thought you fell asleep. Hey, homie, what's poppin'? I did not fall asleep. Come on now. We got a 90-day live stream streak to attack, homie. We ain't never going to bed until we go live, homie. You can count on that, homie. We ain't never going to bed unless we went live that day. You feel me? Did I go live yet? Shit, then I ain't never going to bed. I ain't never going to bed if I ain't been live yet today. It's lit tomorrow. Useless says, yo, tomorrow a bunch of fights, RAF, PFL, UL, BKFC, and UFC Combat Central. Yeah, straight up though. We got, it's a combat sports fans delight tomorrow. That's why I always claim myself as like a combat sports blog, so to speak, or a combat sports channel. Even these streams, I say like reacting to headlines in combat sports, because I'm a big combat sports fan. It's not just the UFC for me. That is not where the puck ends. I even have people commenting on my shit when I'm posting the RF press conference. They're like, of course you would post this lame ass shit. It's like, bro, go get the UFC's cock out your mouth, homie. What's wrong with you? Commenting on my shit, downing me for posting the Dillon, Danis, Colby, Covington face-off. It's one half UFC anyway. Bro, I deadass thought that was a movie scene with Nina too. Haha. Bro, that was straight out of High School Musical. That girl's fucking tripping. That girl's tripping. And it's funny, I saw these reels pop up. I'm gonna make my post now. But I've been seeing these reels pop up, and like there's this new skit that people are doing, at least these two kids, and the title is like bullying bullying a classmate like how they do in Disney movies. And oh my gosh, it's hilarious. They basically just shove him to the ground and they're like, "Eat dirt, loser." And then like somebody else walks by and shit, and like you got to see it. If that ever came across your timeline, you know what I'm talking about. But like they literally said that they're like, "Eat dirt, loser," and like that's like on the lines of what Nina Drama did. Nina Drama's such a fucking clown show, but we finna post her anyway, bro. Fucking hate Nina. And then the fact that Giorgio apologized, it's like, oh God, bro, why did you apologize? Like, now's your chance to just defile her completely. You know, that was his chance to just defile her completely. And I know some people are going to be like, bro, that's not very nice. That's not very nice. Bro, yes, I don't give a fuck. Okay, these women need to be put in their places. And Nina Drama definitely needed to be put in her place, and she needed to be defiled right then and there. Giorgio should have said, I don't give a fuck what you think. Who gives a fuck what you think? Oh, you didn't like that? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck to even be your friend. Get the fuck away from me. You know, I'm selling a fight. This ain't High School fucking Musical or the Disney Channel. I said what I said. I'm not sorry about it. You and Arman are dating. He like you. I just want to date with you. Can I get that date? Pretty please? I think you kind of cute. Let me get them digits. But no, he didn't do shit like that. He didn't do shit like that. And it's like the way you talking to Arman, the way you talking spicy to Arman, you know, like, oh, I got these receipts on my phone. Here, let me play from the old press conference, right? And like Arman tells him, don't speak about women and stuff like that to me. And then he's like, that wasn't a joke. Clearly, Giorgio is on that type of timing to press back. The second Nina Drama presses him, fucking homie folds instantly. Pathetic, bro. It's like, God, Giorgio. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this. I was like, no, no, he's gonna do it. He's gonna fucking apologize. Let that be me, bro. I would have been like, bro, I don't give a fuck what you have to say, Nina. And then she's like, she walks away and she's like, whatever, it's cool. It's like, oh, it's cool. So you don't even give a fuck. You just clout chased it. And Giorgio instantly, he's like, I'm selling a fight. It's like, bro, double down, motherfucker. Double down. Gosh, I hate Nina Drama. And I just hate it even more that she got a fucking dub. I just hate it even more that she got a dub, bro. What up, Dillon? Good to see you in here, Dillon. Perfecta says just left Project Hail Mary. What's popping, homie? What's popping, homie? What's Project Hail Mary? Is that like a movie or something? Yuri Retarded says Daga may said he'd be open to debate with you. He's a huge Hamzat fan. Maybe you can debate him about that. Okay. Um. Well, I think it's better if we can debate about fundamental issues of the UFC or something like that. Like I don't just want to like let's something that there's interest in, right? I don't want to just debate him because he's a Hamzat fan, and then I'm just going to be trashing Hamzat just because, right? And I don't even feel like doing that. I'd rather it be something like, does he think that MMA sucks now? right? Does he think that these are elite fighters? Like, I don't know, just something. Does he think that Ilya ducked Islam? Does he think Islam ducked Ilya? Like, I would debate him about stuff like that, you know, like actual stuff. But I don't want to necessarily just debate him about like being a Hamzat fan, because my only option there is to trash Hamzat. Let's see. I hate Nina for doing. No, I don't hate her. I don't hate Nina. I don't hate Nina, but I hate that she got the dub on him. Juices ain't nobody. Want to hear a debate, a Hamzat Glazer debate about why he's so great? It's like, yeah, please, please. Not I can't, if I have another Russian like shill come across my timeline, I'm gonna lose it. You know, AI 2A is enough for me. Yuri says, "Oh yeah, I see what you mean." Yeah, I'm not ducking the debate, and I know it's just a suggestion, Yuri, but just in case you're trying to set these things up, you need to know like kind of how to relay the messages. So let him know something like that. Be like, Castro, he's down to debate you, but like, is there something that you kind of disagree with him about? Something like that. And then that'll probably get it moving. But I wouldn't be opposed at all. I'd be down actually. Let's hear Nina fucking. Hold on.
What he said? Uh-oh. What he said? You give me a date with your girlfriend Nina and I'll give you your 10K. Giorgio! Giorgio! Hey! Giorgio! Media. What was that? What was that? We're gonna have
What was that? What was that? Get the fuck out of my face, bitch.
a shitty promo. Outside this door. Respectfully. It was disrespectful. What part? The part where you mentioned me up there. It's disrespectful. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. No, because you were nice in the lobby, and I took a picture. And I was trying to be really respectful, but I didn't like that shit. Sorry. I didn't like it. I apologize. Whatever. It's fine.
Whatever. It's fine. And I didn't like that shit. You were so respectful in the lobby. Of course he's gonna be respectful to you. Oh my gosh, bro. I hate I'm keeping that word out of my mouth.
What was that? A shitty promo. Respectfully. It was disrespectful. Respectful, but I didn't like that shit. I didn't like it. I apologize. Whatever. It's fine.
She literally says, she goes, "What was that? That was shitty promo. It was disrespectful." And then she goes, "I didn't like it. Whatever. It's fine." It's like, bro, you such a clown. It's all for the clout for you, bitch. It's all for the clout. Like let's just keep it real, bro. She saw a clip in the making, you know. She got to call out Giorgio, you know, let's clip farm. Let's act like we mad. It's like, "Oh my gosh, bro." The it's fine at the end in my opinion. It's just like, "Oh, so you don't really care." And who would care in the first place? Like, who gives a fuck? He joked that you're fucking Armand's girlfriend. Get over it. I have more to say, but I'm trying to hold it in. Because when we react to it live, I want to say it for the first time, you know? Just give me a minute here. Bro, this screenshot I took, Giorgio looks like a little gremlin, and he like shorter than her. He definitely looks like he's not natty, just in the face alone. Wait, can we get like a Nina drama thirst trap to put on the thing? I'd rather have her like cleavage in the photo. It usually gets better engagement. It's like we could both play at that game, Nina. You know, let's find a cleavage photo. Here's one. Here's a little cleavage photo for us. Much better. It'll get us at least 100 more likes for damn sure. Honestly, probably like at least 500 more likes. These boys on IG are thirsty. He should have at least been like, "It is what it is. I'm selling the fight," and walked away. Something, bro. That would have been the nicer approach, and I would have been fine with that too. But the I'm sorry and copping. Loki said how fast you can find a photo. Shit, Space Kid. It was literally it was it was like which photo I want to choose, homie. I didn't just find one. I found like 7. But then she acts surprised when someone jokes about her. Exactly, bro. Exactly. That's why I don't respect it. And I won't respect it. You guys know me. You guys know me. You know, I ain't finna respect it. I'm actually holding in. I want to say what I want to say, but I'm trying to exercise some self-control and just like wait for when we actually speak about it. When I got the B-roll pulled up, you know, then it's better. Okay, this is fucking hilarious though. Uh Nina. Nina drama confronts Georgio Poullas after press conference for asking Arman Tsarukyan if he can go on a date with her. Too good though. Hold up, I gotta get another one. Not at the moment, buyer seller. We got to I gotta get these, you know, it's like a, you know, solo style. Maybe after I break down these topics, we can discuss it, but at the moment in time, I'm gonna break them down solo. But maybe towards the end of the stream we could do a call or something, depending how things are going. And then the Colby thing as well. We're gonna look into all that. We have. I know you just hopped in stream buyer seller. We literally have not touched any of these topics yet. Haven't really touched any of them. We're in the intro still because I gotta make a post. So you haven't missed anything, homie. Really haven't missed anything. Shout out buyer seller. confronts Georgio Poullas after RF07 press conference for asking Arman Tsarukyan if he can go on a date with her. And referring to her as Arman's girlfriend. Let's see what people think. I'm going to make a poll and say, good he apologized or shouldn't have apologized. I'm actually dying to know. Fucking Nina, bro. Hey, by the way, I feel like I'm low-key like black, bro. I don't know. I don't know, boys. I think I mean, anyone see that mugshot of Tiger Woods? Bro, my father is literally that fucking complexion. Like, I don't know. I don't know. If your kin is that complexion, I mean, am I black? Because I'm telling you, bro, if a brother came across my dad, there's no way he's telling him he ain't fucking, you know, he can't say the word. I'm telling you guys. You guys want me to pull it up so you guys can have the context? Super random thought, but it just popped up first on my timeline. So let me just show you guys. A little lore about me. Bro, my dad is literally this complexion. So, like, you know, if my dad is this complexion, are you going to tell my dad he ain't black? It's like, I know he not African, but neither is, you know, Carlos Prates. But, you know, people give the Brazilians a pass. Honestly, we're on to something, bro. This is literally the complexion of my father right here. So, I mean, I might be a little bit black. The jury's out. Anyway, let me go get my coffee ready, and then we'll get going on this, though. We'll get going on this right now. Once I get my coffee ready. Ariel addressed this on his channel. He did. Did you react to Ariel comment on this? No, I haven't, Saxby. We're just about to get started, so let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, 1 second though. All right, shout out to all of you guys for your patience. All right, so here we are. We're about to get started on everything now, but before we get started, I just want to say one thing, maybe a couple of things. Number one, like the stream again. to everybody who's tuning in who hasn't ran up the likes on the stream, it's no sweat, but run up the likes, all right? Run up the likes. We want 25 on the evening. I think it's at like 14 right now. Now, before I even get this started, I wouldn't feel right about saying this without saying, you know, shout out to MMA Joey. I know MMA Joey, he gets a lot of shit, and he might even deserve most of it. You know, might even deserve about 90% of the shit he gets. But today he did good work, and I respect it. And you guys know it's important. If I respect it, if I respect it, you know, you might want to just listen a little bit more carefully, right? I'm telling you, I respect it. I respect MMA Joey's work he did today in posting some context about this Ariel Helwani video that surfaced this morning. So taking it from the top, you know, Ariel Helwani was confronted by pro-Palestine protesters about Israel in front of his family. And they told him, you know, you could use your platform to help people. Now, there's a lot of people who are saying, Ariel's just an MMA journalist. Why are you going to tell him that? Well, there's some context to it. And Ariel's actually the one who provided the context. And, you know, I think basically, right, Ariel's going to give us all the context. He's already aired a lot of this stuff out. And just by speaking on his platform, it kind of gives us all the answers that we might be wondering about. So I'll get into this, but I wanted to say this, you know, real quick, how I just gave MMA Joey credit for this work. Okay, this is along the lines of what that one ginger cuck tried doing to me, right? That one ginger cuck, I was the one covering the Nick Diaz story. The ginger cuck came across my story, and then he starts, you know, taking it, not even giving me real credit, really. He just starts going to these other, you know, like he didn't know BBJ Ninja Recovery before I fucking started talking about it. He found out about all that shit through watching my videos. But then he doesn't even want to be nice to me about it and be like, yo, shout out to Perry Punch. You know, this dude seems to be covering it, blah, blah, blah. He doing a good job. I didn't even know about this shit because he a jealous little fucking bitch. You know, and that's the fucking difference. That's why I do not fuck with that dude by any fucking means necessary. You know, I do not fuck with that dude. And, you know, what did he do instead of that? He tries discrediting me and saying, like, I don't know why Nick Diaz would talk to him, blah, blah, blah. And he's trying to poke holes in the, you know, the videos I've been making and shit like that. The guy's a fucking clown. The guy's a clown. And, like, I just had to point that out, that it was real simple. All he had to do was say something like, yo, shout out to Perry Punch. You know, this dude's been covering this story. You know, he put me onto this information. I didn't know about this stuff before I came across his video. Is it really that hard to do? Is your ego really that shot? Is your ego really that fucking shot, you little ginger puss? You feel me? So I just had to say that one time. I just had to get that off my chest, you know. It's like, bro, you such a little bitch for that. Anyway, shout out to MMA Joey. Okay, now let's watch this video. Shout out to Soda Pop saying, hey, I made it to a stream. W Jacob, W stream. Shout out to Soda Pop. W Soda Pop. I hope all of that like resided with you guys though. That little fucking bitch. It wouldn't have been that hard, bro. It wouldn't have been that hard. I wasn't put onto this news about Ariel Helwani until Joey posted it. Manny says, who's the ginger? Ariel. I won't name him. I'm not going to name him. He's just a ginger ass bitch. You don't even need to worry about him. Honestly. So let's watch this video of Ariel Helwani getting confronted by pro-Palestinian protesters. Ariel is still relevant in the Big 26. Kinda. Yeah, he kind of is.
Yeah. 4 years old, killed by your fucking people. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
We know your comments. Your comments are available to us. We know your stance.
You'll find the hostages between their decomposing.
Looks away as soon as they say that. I didn't even really pick up on this, but he said, we know your comments. It's all available for us. We know your stance on that shit. And Ariel instantly looks away. I just think that's body language. You know, he knows what he has said, though, you know, and we're going to play the clips of what he said.
We're not being aggressive. We're not being aggressive.
Aggressive is
Tries walking away a little bit. His son just stands there.
You could use your platform, Ariel. You could use your platform to help people, brother. Ariel, why don't you use your platform to help people? No. There's a genocide. There's a genocide going on.
Supporting Zionism. I hope you wore sunblock today.
You know, one thing crossed my mind about, like, I bet you Ariel's son probably dealing with some issues at school. Not to say he's getting bullied by any means, but like, dude, I know at schools, this is the topic now, you know, and it's not even really racist. It's kind of allowed to happen where like people can speak about, you know, people, Jewish kids and shit like that, and being Jewish and being privileged. So like, I don't know, something tells me his son probably getting over this shit too. But, you know, Ariel's saying, really, that's how you're going to talk to kids, right? I just want to know. Just drop it in the chat, like a 1 or a 2, right? 1, if you think that this dude just came up to Ariel and said that. 2, if you think that, you know, something else happened. All right. 1, if you think this dude just came up to Ariel and just pressed him because he recognized his face. Or 2, if you think something else happened here. I want to know what you guys think. Right? And probably by me asking it, a lot of you guys are going to put 2s in the chat. But 1, if you think that these people recognized Ariel by face and just came up and started saying shit to him. Or 2, if something else caused this. 0 1s or 2s in the chat, but whatever, that's all right. You know, we got some time. So anyway, this is literally the South Park episode. And, you know, speaking about his son, right? Kyle's mom, right? Kyle was getting a hard time at school and shit like that. He wasn't fucking with it. The son's probably getting a hard time at school. Go watch the South Park episode. But here's a clip from it.
There you are, Mr. Netanyahu! Just who do you think you are? Killing thousands and flattening neighborhoods, then wrapping yourself in Judaism like it's some shield from criticism. You're making life for Jews miserable and life for American Jews impossible. Oh, don't you roll your eyes at me, mister. You know what you're doing, and you're doing it on purpose. Well, now you can just sit in that chair, because I'm not going anywhere, Buster. I've been to every PTA meeting, every school board meeting, and I...
See every PTA meeting, every school board meeting. So you get it, right? Because Kyle is getting fucked with. And so, well, first off, I just want to say that it's crazy that South Park, you know, they make their episodes pretty quick timing, right? Like the Simpsons kind of predict shit. South Park, it's like reactionary. You know, South Park kind of reacts to whatever's current. And I mean, this whole Israel thing and the Gaza thing has been going on for over like a couple years, I think, at this point. And so it's just crazy that I know that this episode isn't a couple years old, but they came out, you know, real quick when these issues were happening. And that take right there being like, Netanyahu, you're making life for Jews in America miserable, right? It's like, damn, that's pretty on point, bro. Even if it wasn't yet or something like that, like the fact that South Park knew that that was kind of like going in that direction, it's pretty spot on, you know. I imagine that American Jews are not even very prideful of being Jewish, unless you're Ariel and you kind of get a kink off of like, you know, that type of like, you know, Ariel likes it. Ariel likes the banter back and forth. He kind of likes being like, you know, on a little pedestal, being Jewish. I don't know, but I don't think everybody's like that. You know, I think a lot of American Jews who just want to like be homies with everybody and not be nationalistic. I think that like, you know, they and the ones who don't really fret over having cheese on their burgers and shit. I think that they probably do have a harder time in America, you know, and they probably don't want their friends to really know that they're Jewish because the stigmas are crazy right now for the Jews. The stigmas are pretty fucking crazy. I can't lie about that. So Meat Rocket says 1. Meat Rocket thinks that the people recognized Ariel by face and walked up to him. Saxby says Ariel family are Mossad. I know it's really crazy. It's deep, bro. It's deep. And I don't know, but I just need to say, you know, Ariel's Mossad, Uncle Gad Sad is Mossad, and Ariel is like the top journalist. You know, it like, is that a coincidence? I'm not telling you I know for a fact that you know, caught, you know, one equals the other, so to speak, but I'm just like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. If you guys don't know what the Mossad is, go look it up. It's basically the CIA for Israel. And like Gad Saad has admitted on Joe Rogan's podcast that he was in the Mossad. You know, that's like the CIA of Israel. And then Ariel, you know, as a young buck, just pops up and gets all these fucking resources. You know, not even just the interviews, bro, with the top level fighters, but like, you know, the connections behind the scenes with media and getting information. Is it a secret society that he a part of? You know, I don't know. Dave Smith reminded Joe Rogan on the last episode that they are Mossad. Yeah, I've seen that. I think a lot of people don't really even know what we're talking about, and that's okay. But I think I explained it in simple terms for you. But anyway, Meat Rocket thinks that the people recognized Ariel by face and approached him. So we will take a look at that right now, but I just want to read a few comments. You know, I'm with Palestine, but this is just silly. What is Helwani going to do about it? Just looking for problems. He's MMA journalist. He says peace in the Middle East all the time. Not really. We're going to play a clip. Sasha says, yeah, I'm sure Ariel will amass the MMA fans as troops and go defend Palestine. People are so dumb. It literally hurts my brain, but he doesn't need to if he doesn't want to. He is a sports journalist, not a war journalist, but he's spoken about these things. So it would be fair. But he's spoken about these things. And spoiler alert, like I said, guys, Ariel opened his fucking mouth first. These protesters were just doing their thing, protesting in public. Yep, Ariel was supporting the genocide. He was supporting it. You know, it can't really be denied. I'm going to play you guys a clip. But like, you know, so I asked you the question, right? Do you think that these people recognized Ariel by face and approached him? Or do you think that, you know, something else happened? Something else happened, all right? These people were protesting. Anyone ever walk by protesters? It's not like protesters are in your face touching you and harassing you. It's peaceful protesting. You're standing around, you're protesting, right? Now, we don't know necessarily, and this does look like a little bit of a crowded space, but I'm just giving you context. Like, these people were protesting, standing around under, you know, is going to be my assumption. They're standing around, they're speaking, you know, against Israel, right? Pro-Palestine, against Israel. And Ariel had something to say to them. You know, Ariel, with a little passive aggressive, trying to be the big dog a little bit, trying to just do a little passive aggressiveness, and then they jumped right down his throat. You know, they said, we know who you are, homie. Don't be playing with us right now. So let's just play the clip. Let's pull up the clip. Once again, shout out to MMA Joey. You know, I actually like it when guys do this. You know, when someone does good work and there's a topic that they've been paying attention to and they can provide context, like, good shit, bro. Good shit. Thank you. I didn't get this context if it wasn't for you. Okay. So, you know, Joey, right? 2-minute, 50-second clip. Now Joey finally saying shit, and I appreciate it. Send this clip to MMA Joey and tell him I said, shit, homie. I respect it. So MMA Joey said they were not rude to Ariel at all. He's playing victim. So let's watch this. Let's watch it. Ariel Helwani already spoke about being confronted by these pro-Palestinian protesters, basically said they're holding on to propaganda. He blatantly lied about it. He acted like they were super aggressive and getting in his face and cursing out his kids. This was super hard to watch. Quote, I am standing for what's right. I am on the right side of history. So right there, guys, right there. Right side of history, bombing Gaza, women and children dying, genocide. That is not the right side of history. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist, but this dude, right? This dude, he got no ability for discernment. It's just like pro-Jew. You know, pro-Jew, and, you know, if they got the word Jew in it, I'm finna support it. You know, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. This is along the lines of these fucking people who support Trump no matter what, too. Like, listen, I was kind of a Trump supporter. Like, if we're talking about this last election, yeah, bro, Trump got my vote. But do I really fuck with him right now? Like, the jury's out, bro. The jury's always out. And right now we're fighting a proxy war for Israel. And it's like, is this what we really need? Trump pulling back on ICE and shit like that. I know people aren't going to like that, but I mean, listen, man, I'm pretty cut and dry, you know. Trump ran on that. That's what people voted for. Now we pulling back on it because things getting spicy. You know, I'm not really looking at all the other details. So forgive me. But it's like, I'm just saying that to say that people also do the same thing for Trump. They just like mindlessly are brainwashed and support every single move he does, move he makes. And Ariel's this way with the Jews, bro. It's like, you don't think for 1 second that Netanyahu could be corrupt or could be a bad guy? Like, it doesn't mean that the Jews are bad, but Netanyahu could be a bad dude. And you claiming that you're on the right side of history on this is crazy. But anyway, to finish this quote off, because Joey was very specific, he said, basically, Ariel flaunting his love for America only when it helps Israel bomb brown kids in the Middle East. Yes, he did this as well. He did do this. Because, I don't want to say too much, but it's like, Ariel don't give a fuck about America, bro. How many American... it's like, you got to really pay attention, but like, you know, he all into UK boxing and shit like that. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. It's just, I'll leave it alone. It ain't a real serious comment. It's a bit of a throwaway comment, but I'm just saying, you know, because Joey's saying basically Ariel flaunting his love for America. And I barely ever hear him flaunting his love for America. You know, I barely ever do. In the back of my mind, watching Ariel, a lot of times I've been like, this dude don't even like fucking Americans, really. Like, I don't know. There's just something about Ariel. It's just something about him. It's just something about him. I can't put the finger on it quite yet, but it's almost like an intrinsic feeling. Anyway, imagine crying about people cursing around your kids in public when you go on YouTube and suck off a regime who is bombing innocent women and children daily. So, you know, I respect the fuck out of this. Clint Eastwood asking, are you watching Keith Thurman versus Fundora? I'm going to try to watch all of these fights, homie, but they're all going to be on at the same time. I think we're just going to do a massive watch party tomorrow, Clint Eastwood. So we're going to, you know, if you tune into tomorrow's live stream, we'll be watching, you know, Keith Thurman. We'll be watching RAF. We'll be watching UFC Seattle. We'll watch it all, Clint Eastwood. PFL Pittsburgh. So shout out. But anyway, let's watch the clip now. 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Lock in, boys. Lock in. And guys, I want to say this real quick. If there's anybody in the chat who's Jewish, okay, nothing against you, right? And I think I've done a pretty decent job at conveying that, right? I think I've done a pretty decent job at conveying that, you know, there's nothing against Jews, bro. There's nothing against Jews whatsoever. It's the support for anything Netanyahu does on behalf of his ties. You know, that's what we don't fuck with. And I don't respect that just as much as I don't respect an American shilling for Trump. I mean, God bless my mother, right? God bless my mother. But I do be trying to like send subliminal messages to my mom, like, Mom, like, you know, like, you still supporting Trump like 100%? Like, you're still supporting Trump 100%? You don't got nothing that's bothering you that he's doing? You know, there's not things that he ran on that you voted for him for that he's not fulfilling? And she's like, no. You know, but it's like, I'm telling you guys, I'm on this type of thing. Like, if you don't condemn bad, I'm on you. You know, whether you're Ariel, whether you're my mom, whether you're Donald Trump, whether you're Netanyahu, it got nothing to do with being Jewish. For the one time, it got nothing to do with that. In fact, I'm probably more sympathetic than anything because I was speaking about, you know, Netanyahu making life hard for American Jews. Space Kid says, what? No. Yeah, my mom, she'd be like, you know, but she's older, so it's harder for them. You know, it's harder for them. And they also don't got the connection to social media. But I do be trying to tell her, I'm like, Mom, you know, let me hear you say, I'm like, let me hear you say one negative thing about Trump. What you got to say negative about him? And she don't got nothing. I'm like, all right, shit, we'll leave it alone. I'll come back in a couple weeks, see if you change your mind. Sorry for honey dicking. Let's play it now.
Please pay attention to who is trying to move on, who is trying to rebuild, who is trying to make the world and that region of the world a better place. And please pay attention to those who are still holding on to hatred, to venom, to propaganda. Please pay attention to that. 3 weeks ago,
I don't want to say much, but I do just have to say it for anyone who, and no offense to you, but if anybody's a simpleton, let me just address right off the back, bro. Right off the back. Fuck Trump, I'm paying $80 to fill my truck. It's like I would take that from my mom. You know, if my mom says I'm pissed at Trump, the gas prices went up because of the war in Iran, I'd be like, all right, bet, mom. All right, bet. You finally getting it. But anyway, let me just go back to this. Ariel says, you know, pay attention to who is essentially like making the world a better place, right? That's what he's kind of saying about Israel. Pay attention to who's making the world a better place, and pay attention to who's hanging on to hatred. Meaning, like, pay attention to who's dissing the Jews. Bro, you guys are getting dissed because of what you're doing. And what you're doing is not making the world a better place, you fucking dipshit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. One more time, just listen to that. He's saying, he's calling out again, this is the master gaslighter. This is the master gaslighter. This dude is fucking gaslighting people who are dissing, call it Jews. We not dissing Jews necessarily. It just gets caught up in the mix. We dissing Israel, we dissing Netanyahu. You know, that's who we dissing. But Ariel's saying, you know, those are the hateful people. Those are the hateful people. Nah, bro, we dissing them because of what you're doing to Gaza, homie. What the fuck? How are you getting this twisted? And then you're now getting us involved in a war in Iran. How are you getting this twisted? But you know, when I just said, you know, we're on Netanyahu's ass because he's bombing Gaza, Ariel tried to word that bombing of Gaza as if Israel is making the world a better place by taking out Gaza. Listen to this again. Listen to this again. You know, Ariel thinks it's just that they take out Gaza. And then he says it's wrong that anyone wants to, you know, talk shit on Netanyahu and that those are the real evil people. Listen to this again. Master gaslighter, bro. He gaslighting people who you know what's right deep down.
Please pay attention to who is trying to move on, who is trying to rebuild, who is trying to make the world and that region of the world a better place. And
the world in that region of the world a better place by killing those people, you're out your mind, homie. You're out your fucking mind. And that's why what you're about to say, that's why that's happening. What you're about to say, as far as pay attention to people who are hating on the Jews, that's why that's happening, homie. Because they're not making the world a better place. And in what fucking stretch of the imagination is killing fucking people in Gaza making the world a better place?
please pay attention to those who are still holding on to hatred, to venom, to propaganda. Please pay attention to that. 3 weeks ago, I was in Montreal with my family. We were at Atwater Market, if you know what that is. We were in line to get some food. We happened to be getting some falafel. Love falafel with the hummus. What's better than that? And then all of a sudden, to my left, I saw these people who were protesting, who were chanting, who were doing, who were doing their thing. And I looked at them, and they're shouting obscenities, they're swearing at us, they're getting in our face, all because we're in line just to buy some food. And I always wondered, like, what is going on here? What is fueling this? Where are these people coming from? What are their true motivations? And as they're swearing at me and my kids, I calmly asked one of them, can you just stop swearing next to my kids? My kids are here with me. Can you just calm down? And one individual takes out their phone.
That's it right there. That's it right there. That's that passive aggressive shit I'm talking about. He just said it. Can you please calm down? Can you stop swearing around my kids? My kids are right here. What's that person going to do? It's just read the room, homie. You're not going to tell that person to stop fucking talking. You feel me? It's kind of crazy that Ariel would go up to that dude and be like, yo, can you stop talking? Right? I mean, essentially, like, I know he cussing and shit, but Ariel also told him to calm down. Listen to this again. And again, you got to imagine that he's almost doctoring up the words he used, right? Because he probably was a little bit perturbed at the situation, at the look of that situation.
As they're swearing at me and my kids, I calmly asked one of them, and as they're swearing at me and my kids, I calmly asked one of them, can you just stop swearing next to my kids? My kids are here with me. Can you just calm down? And one individual takes out their phone and puts it right in my face, puts it like this close to my face. and says, I know who you are. I know what you're all about, Ariel. Why don't you use your platform for good? Why don't you stand for what's right? And I tried very hard not to lose my cool. The moment he put his phone in my face, that actually made me calm down because I knew exactly what he wanted. He wanted to bait me. And all I said to this guy was, I am standing for what's right. I am on the right side of history. And I believe that in my heart because I believe that the people that I associate with, the people I identify with, my people want peace, want harmony.
This is Ariel's problem. And it's kind of funny that he's literally going to be on air doing this. But it's like, I hear what you're saying. We'll address what you're saying in a second. But what Ariel's saying as far as, you know, he's putting too much on his people. You know, anyone can be corrupt. It's not about Jews, bro. Anyone can be corrupt. And, you know, I think that the leadership in Israel and Netanyahu is corrupt. But let's just play hear it one more time.
And I believe that in my heart because I believe he wanted to bait me. And all I said to this guy was, I am standing for what's right. I am on the right side of history. And I believe that in my heart because I believe that the people that I associate with,
the people that I associate with,
the people I identify with, my people want peace, want harmony. They just want.
So just on being a Jew alone, you know, he finna throw you that credit. Want peace, want harmony, right? We're right. We're on the right side of history because I identify with you guys. I mean, bro, what the hell? Like, so all Jews are just born like non-sinners? Is that the latest thing? This is going to be the latest thing getting them in trouble. You know, just because they're your people doesn't mean things could be corrupt. Like, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. And it's just such an elitist perspective. And then to be sitting on here and saying that is clueless. Like, he really, I mean, the fact that he says that on air is like, wow. Wow.
All of this to end, all the hatred. And so I'm proud to sit here today and say that we are hopefully moving on. I'm proud to say that the hostages have come home. I've never been prouder to be an American. I've never been prouder to be living in this country that didn't turn its back on my people, unlike so many other countries. I'm just really, really happy and proud to be here. And 2 years.
So yeah, now he's happy and proud to be here. That annoys me as well. You know, now he's happy and proud to be in the U.S. because we had Israel's back. It's like, bro, you only like the U.S. because we shill for you guys. Because Trumpy's shilling for you.
Years ago, and in the subsequent days, I was so depressed. It was hard for me to talk about MMA. Today, it's hard for me to talk about MMA because I'm so excited. Because I'm so.
I can't believe Ariel got depressed when the Jews were getting hate because they were bombing Gaza. Can you guys believe it? What a fucking victim. What a fucking victim. Homie was depressed when Jews were getting hatred because Israel was bombing Gaza. You know, innocent women and children. Turning it into straight rubble. Homie got depressed. Homie got depressed during that time.
Hopeful, and I can't get enough of all the scenes. I just pray for peace and hope, and hope that everyone's able to.
That's almost worth listening to twice. That's almost worth listening to twice. It's almost worth listening to twice. Ariel believes he is chosen, brother. They can't do wrong, clearly. No, it's super elitist, bro, and that's not a cool perspective. Now, what Jew says, he says, I mean, that's kind of fair, though. If I'm with my son and I hear somebody cussing, I'm going to tell him to chill out. So, you know, speaking to this, right, Jew? Ariel, he did say that the people were yelling at, you know, let's hear what he said.
They're getting in our face. They're shouting. They're doing their thing. And I looked at them, and they're shouting obscenities. They're swearing at us. They're getting in our face. All because we're in line just to buy some food.
So do I believe it? Do I not believe it? I don't know. I don't know. I can give him the benefit of the doubt and say he's not lying. And I'm willing to do that. maybe you know people were standing in line and you got these protesters protesting to the people standing in line. That's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. But I do find it rich that out of all the people to speak up, because I know what you're saying, you know, if I'm with my son and I hear somebody cussing, I'm gonna tell him to chill out. And I do get it. I do get it. I would have to agree with you probably, right? Um, but is it a coincidence that the one person who spoke out happens to be a Jewish guy? You know, the one person who spoke out happened to be a Jewish guy. It happened to be Ariel. Everybody else ain't saying shit. I'm sure there's more kids in the building, right? Everybody else ain't saying shit. But Ariel, you know, he had to say something. So, okay, so now, so Drew's saying, I mean, yeah, it seems like he knew what they were doing and went out of his way to talk to them. I don't think he was just walking by and they were cussing. Yeah, he went out his way. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to it, right? I wouldn't be opposed to that idea either. Wouldn't be opposed to an idea like that either. I could see a variation, something along those lines happening. Like, for example, if you're Jewish and you got these pro-Palestinian guys really like harassing, so to speak, you really gonna go there? Or you with your kids and everything, right? Or are you gonna say, let's just go somewhere else? Like, let's just go to another little spot. Like this place is turfed. That's what I would do. I dip out of places for less, bro. If I walk into a building and it smells funny, I'm leaving, you know? So Ariel, I mean, I guess Jew, what I'll do is I'll try to even meet you in the middle. I won't say that he like walked up to them and like, you know, sussed it out, but I would say that like he kind of knew what he was getting himself into, you know? He definitely had an opportunity to not go over there. Yeah, like self-consciously, he couldn't help but to walk by on purpose. Yeah, I think it's along those lines. There's something there. There is something there with the whole thing. There definitely is. Saxby says, "Where's the evidence?" Give me 1 second. 1 second. Okay, and then so there's one more clip. There's one more clip to I'm about to eat some cake and smoke a cigarette. Shout out to buyer seller. Sounds like a good combo, homie. Doesn't sound like a bad combo. Let's look at the one other clip. Oh shit, Manny says, why you ain't reading my comments? Manny, you literally haven't dropped one in a minute. But you said, wait till bro finds out that if you see them on screen, they are not the one pulling the strings, LOL. So Ariel not the one pulling the strings? Manny, that's the only chat I didn't read. Saxby goes, Ariel was talking, then when camera came out, he stopped because he knew this Israel position is undeniable. Manny says, am I shadow banned? LO, can you see my text? Or I can see those. You probably wrote a keyword that YouTube bans, bro. So just try to misspell it and it'll probably go through. Buyer seller says, I'll live chat during my cigarette call, a cigarette talk break. Shit. No call-ins yet. No call-ins yet. But keep dropping it in the chat, homie. Keep dropping it in the chat. We got more clips to go through for this Ariel thing. This is just a quick one, but let's see what Joey said. Autocorrect be taking out the best of us. Facts, though. Okay, so Joey says, I wanted to feel bad, but then I remembered Ariel was laughing his ass off about the USA doing Israel's bidding and bombing brown schoolgirls in Iran. And it's like, yeah, bro, this is why I don't fuck with this guy. It's like, I don't get how people don't see this shit. I don't get how people don't see this shit, bro. Like, and it's because it's like, this guy's made it so long, so far. Like he's been the same way for a long time, you know, year after year. Year after year, you know, every time, like, he shows who he really is and people just forget about it. And I don't know. But this is deeper than like just listening to this. Like, you should, if you have some type of nationalistic feeling about us being in the wrong war right now, then this is probably going to hit you different. You know, you're not going to like hearing this. If you are like, if you don't really pay attention to the war, then this is going to go right over your fucking head. But basically, like, if you're a US citizen, bro, we should not be in favor of this war. That's kind of my belief right now. You know, we don't need to be fighting this war. You know, we're fighting Israel's war with Iran. I don't know how to explain it, but that's like the cliff notes of what I've heard. This ain't our war. This is Israel's war. And like Ariel over here celebrating the fact that we're fighting in Israel's war because he doesn't give a fuck about America. You know, homie doesn't give a fuck about America, but then he acts like he likes America only because America's backing Israel. Like, get it. You guys got to get it, bro. You guys got to get it. And I'm not even saying I fully get it. I'm figuring this shit out as I speak. But it's like, homie, don't even really fuck with America. You know, he fucking with America because America's being Israel's little puppet. You know, don't get it twisted. This dude do not fuck with America. Tom says straight up, Perry. So shit, I think I'm cooking. You know, I think I'm cooking.
And you've got Ayatollahs dying all over the place. There's a war happening in the Middle East. What else is there to talk about? Shall we get into the war, guys?
No. That's probably where we stop.
Oh my God. It's a crazy time. Oh, and you've got Ayatollahs dying.
Like, I would never joke about the war like that. I'm sorry, but I wouldn't, bro. I wouldn't. And have you guys ever heard me? There's a war going on right now. Like, bro, what? What? Like, your true colors are just showing through the screen. Should we talk about that? Like, bro, what? We don't want to hear your thoughts about it. It's all pro-Israel.
And you've got Ayatollahs dying all over the place. There's a war happening in the Middle East. What else is there to talk about? Shall we get into the war, guys?
No. That's probably where we stop.
Should we get into the war? And starts chuckling, laughing. You know, should we get into, he goes, you know, there's a war going on. Should we get into it? Like, bro starts fucking laughing. Should we get into it? Like, bro, what? Jew says, I've seen worse jokes before, to be fair. I feel you. This ain't the worst joke in the world, but it's like, this a wolf in sheep's clothing, Jew. This a wolf in sheep's clothing, you know? And like, yes, there's definitely been worser jokes, but the problem is this dude acts like he a sheep 99% of the time. He a wolf in sheep's clothing, homie. You know? And you say he's a two-faced Jew. Yeah, he's two-faced. He's two-faced. What he presents is not who he really is and who he intends to be. And so, yeah, it's a joke, but it's also like an admission of who he is as a person, right? So it's both. Yeah, it's a joke, but it's also very telling and a little bit of an admission of who he is as a person. And I don't really fuck with it at all. Manny says, now we getting it. It's been like this for hundreds of years. We just getting to know now. I know. We're just figuring it out now. You know, I'm reading the 48 Laws of Power, and one of the laws they speak about, they basically took it from the Jews. Let's see the book, 38 Laws of Power, real quick. I've been listening to this book, or 48 Laws of Power. But the chapter, concentrate your forces. Wait, let me see the, where can I pull up the chapters? Okay, so I think it was either Law 22 or Law 23, but one of these laws originated from the Jews. And Law 22 is use the surrender tactic, transform weakness into power. Or Law 23, concentrate your forces. I think it was Law 22. Use the surrender tactic, transform weakness into power. But I'm just saying that to say that, you know, Israel, or the Jews, you know, 48 Laws of Power, they took one of the laws of power from the Jews. That's pretty crazy. You know, there's no law of power they got from the black people or the Asians that I haven't heard of yet. You know, they got one from the Jews though, you know. HT, I'm going to read your chat. Sorry, I've been missing reading your chats. I've been seeing them and meaning to actually read them. So let me go up one. HT says, Ariel is capping, overreacting. People were minding their business, protesting. Ariel walked up to them, got himself involved, and protesters shouted back. I mean, honestly, that's kind of what I thought, bro. This is my take. You guys want to know what I think happened? Big old assumption, make myself look like an asshole? Okay, here's my big old assumption. I think that Ariel was standing in line. There were protesters nearby. They were doing their thing. And they weren't cussing at his kids or anything like that. I think if anything, they might have been saying things like, you know, they're killing children and women, and they're using that type of terminology about, you know, Israel and Gaza, right? I think there was that type of terminology, and I think that's what Ariel is saying, like, oh, they're swearing at me. Are you sure? Or were they saying that Israel kills children? You know, there's a big difference. But I think that neither of those you'd like, and you wouldn't want your son to hear that, right? So I think that's what they were saying. When he says they were screaming and cussing at us, I think they were just screaming out the truths about their gripes when it comes to Israel. And, you know, so I think Ariel basically tried to get them to shut up. He tried to shut them up. And he said, can you calm down? Can you stop swearing? And then they started talking shit to him, you know, but I think that's what happened. And I think that Ariel tried to, like, I don't know, he just doesn't know his place or something, but he definitely tried to, like, big dog them. And he tried to, like, passive aggressively try to, like, sun them, you know, by doing that. You know, can you calm down a little bit? Can you just calm down a little bit? That's condescending. You know, that's condescending to do that to somebody, no matter what they're doing. Right? Like, even right now, technically, you could tell me to calm down right now, right? But it's a bit condescending. Like, I'm perfectly chill. You know, I'm just doing my thing right now. I'm just excited. You know, I'm talking, I'm passionate, right? But Ariel, I think he did something along those lines. Like, yo, can you calm down? He admitted to that in his thing. And he said, can you stop swearing? But that kind of thing, it's like, you know, that's what I think happened. And then they said, we know who you are. And they went off on him. Jew, I saw that you did ask if Brian Battle was fighting tonight. No, he's fighting tomorrow. Tony says, we rooting Brian Battle, right? Question mark. Honestly, I don't really got a dog in the race. I don't really got a dog in the race. Kind of want Eblin to win, bro. Who do we want to win? Eblin or Brian Battle? Buyer seller says they all know that their land is shit and they want green grass instead of sand. BRB. All right, buyer seller coming right back. He on that stogie and cake break. Cake and a stogie. I'm more of a cheesecake guy. A bit more of a cheesecake guy. HT says Ariel is basically the Ben Shapiro of MMA media. I don't know much about Ben Shapiro. If you wouldn't mind elaborating, HT. Sound it out for me. Just say the quiet part out loud. Like, who's Ben Shapiro? Can't stand Ben Shapiro. His voice is nails on a chalkboard. I would love to know like what his significance is. I honestly don't know. Dave Smith with the flex. Shout out to Dave Smith. I know Dave Smith. Dave Smith is the GOAT. Ariel was worried his kids started believing all people are equal. That's true, Saxby. That's true. He wants the elitist mentality to stick with his son. That's probably why subconsciously he had to say something. Think about it. We solving this in real time, boys. Jew, you were saying earlier that subconsciously he couldn't help it. And I was like, yeah, I agree with you. I just can't explain why that is. Now I understand why that is. Because Ariel had a reputation to uphold in front of his fucking son, bro. You know? He was worried his kid was going to start believing all that shit. And so he had to say something. He had to put a stop to it. He could not be passive about it. You know, like everybody else in line apparently was being. He had to say something. Because he got this whole charade. You know, he got a house of cards he's trying to protect. You know, one gust of wind is going to knock that shit over. One gust of wind, bro. One gust of wind. It's just a gut feeling, and I don't really mean any disrespect by it, but I bet you, bro, with how nationalistic Ariel is and how much smoke he brings onto his own shoulders, I think that it's going to rub off negatively on his kids, to be honest with you. Even putting him in a Jewish school, it's like, you know, I could see it backfiring, bro. I could see it backfiring. Not that it's bad to go into a Jewish school. It's just like, it's too much. You know, it's like you got your dad the way he's being, and then you know, the school, and you got your dad yelling at protesters. It's like, this kid is going to be like fed up with the whole thing. By the time he's 18, he's going to want nothing to do with it. Someone says the word, you know, something Jewish around him, he's going to be like, oh my God, please let me leave this room. Look at this little fucking cheese on Ariel. And look at Connor Burks. Look at Connor Burks. Shit. Look at Connor Burks. He like, damn, bro, my boss is a snake. My boss a fucking snake, dude. Damn. Let's actually see Connor's raw reaction. Can we?
The war guys?
No. That's probably where we stop.
Oh my god. It's a crazy.
Ooh, no laughing at all. Look at Connor. They play the victim too much when nobody is attacking them. It's just ridiculous. And if you're going to be the victim, right? When you're the ones attacking people, now you can't stand being victim now, right? When you're the ones attacking people, aka people in Gaza, now people who speak out against you, you know, it's like, you're the hateful people. You're the hateful people. We're trying to make the world a better place by exterminating an entire race. You know, it's crazy. The gaslighting is crazy. This dude is the biggest master gaslighter of all time. I didn't even know I was going to be going in on him this hard. But look at Connor Burks. Look at Connor Burks. And Space Kid says, like up the stream, boys. Run up the likes on the stream, boys. We want 25 on the evening, boys. 25 likes on the evening. One more time, look at Connor Burks.
No. That's probably where we stop.
Oh my god.
Look at the gaze. Look at the gaze. Look at this gaze from Connor. Look.
Probably where we stop.
Oh my god. It's a.
Ooh. If you don't see that, you don't see that. But shit. It's a little squint and then a head little peer down. Look at this real quick. He starts squinting and then he's like, he kind of zeroes in on Ariel. Squints and then kind of like nods his head down, like peers in. Look.
Probably where we stop.
Oh my god. It's a crazy.
It's a quick one. It's a quick one. All right, boys. So that is like the big story. You know, that's the big story. But we got a couple more big stories as well. We got the Nina Drama story, right? Nina Drama, pressing Giorgio. Let's get these hot fires out the way first. And then we'll get into the RAF press conference and things of that nature. But I'm trying to find it. Which one do I want to play first? This one. So let's play this one first. But let me read a few chats. Ariel Helwani checked. LMAO definitely got checked. I think if Guru covered this topic, Ariel MMA would be over. I think MMA Joey did a fine job, to be honest with you. I think MMA Joey got this topic more than Guru. I'll watch Guru's video and see whose is better, though. Ariel tried to call DDP racist for being white and South African. But South Africa is not that place anymore. Israel is. Ariel is the definition of a Zionist, always playing victim while instigating, absolute weasel. Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. Okay, I'm going to play you guys this video of Giorgio, asking Arman if he could smash his girlfriend, Nina Drama. So I'll just read out the caption. Arman Tsarukyan threatens to kill Georgio Poullas for asking to go on a date with his quote-unquote girlfriend, Nina Drama. If someone going to talk about that, you're going to be dead. You're going to be dead. So listen to Arman speak about this right now. I'm just going to go pull up another cup of coffee. I'll be right back. And I already listened to this. But, yeah, here it is for you guys.
Well, you give me a date with your girlfriend, Nina, and I'll give you 10K.
What did you say? What did you say?
You give me a date with your girlfriend, Nina, and I'll give you your 10K.
My girlfriend. Guys, you never ask about family. Everybody don't ask about family, moms, sisters with me, okay? And girls too. If someone gonna talk about that, you're gonna be dead. And don't care this is RAF, USA or UFC belt. If you're gonna touch my family, you're gonna be dead, okay? And you too, shut your mouth and be respectful for the girls, okay?
All right, Mike.
You can talk about me, but not about my friends and everybody.
Oh, that wasn't a joke.
Okay, keep moving on. Next question.
So what's going on with my 10K that we shake the hand?
Well, you give me a date with your girlfriend, Nina, and I'll give you 10K.
What did you say?
Okay, so that played out. First of all, I would just say that, like, I feel like these dudes be glazing up Nina. This is the definition of inflating the market, boys. I always tell you about this. Don't glaze up a girl who not that hot, bro. Just don't do it. Like, I don't care. I don't care about the views. She ain't that hot. Don't do it. Like, you making yourself look bad. But Arman was pissed off here. Arman was pissed. And people are saying there was a translation error. I didn't pick up on that. You know, I see Tom says she's not his family. I know, but it's because, Arman's married. For people who don't know, Arman's married and has kids. So Giorgio insinuating that Arman's dating Nina is a direct insult. It's direct disrespect. You're disrespecting his wife, period. And he also said, friends or whoever the case, like nobody, women, friends, you can only talk shit about me. Don't talk shit about anybody I fuck with. Not even my friends, not my family. So I think people are not really, maybe they don't know much about Arman. Arman's married, bro. So by insinuating that he's dating Nina Drama, you finna get him in trouble with his wife. That's disrespecting his wife. And that's why he said what he said, You disrespect my family again by insinuating I'm dating Nina Drama. I'm finna kill you. You finna die, homie. Die right here. You're not going home. So that's that story there. But then Nina, right? Of course, Nina, she had something to say. Oh, this is a funny ass underrated quote or comment though. Somebody goes, "Does Nina know she's Arman's girlfriend?" It's like, I think she knows. I think she knows she Nina's girlfriend. Shout out this guy Jonah Abril. This guy Jonah Abril, he always be commenting. I love it though. And he always just talks directly to me. Slow night, huh, Jake? shit, it actually a very busy night, and this is definitely something to post. I know people gonna get on me, don't post Nina. I barely post Nina, but this was post worthy. Culture gap. Oh, I didn't see that. Maybe the accent. Yeah. Saxby goes, no, Arman was angry because he's attacking his family and culture. Big disrespect. Exactly. No, exactly. Exactly. People in his country think Nina is a whore. I love it. MMAK says culture gap. Shout out MMAK. Make sure you guys are all subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys are all subscribed. What kind of coffee is that? It's it's a drip coffee out of like the, one of those $20 coffee makers that you buy at fucking Ralph's or like Costco or something. I think it might have been a $40 coffee maker. It's Arabica. Shit, now you got me intrigued. One second. Not French roast. One sec. It's Jose's Organic French Roast. It's Jose's Organic French Roast. By the way, boys, if you're not buying organic coffee, please start doing that. Please start, buying some organic coffee, because coffee in the US is one of the most heavily sprayed with pesticides. Like, I know you're getting pesticides in your vegetables and shit, and your rice probably, if it's not organic, and probably even if it is organic. But I'm telling you, boys, coffee is one of the most heavily sprayed pesticides, or like, foods that pesticides is sprayed on. So if you're not getting organic coffee, of all things organic, I would say, make sure you're getting organic fucking coffee. If you don't get an organic fucking onion or something, I ain't finna trip. But if you're not getting organic coffee, bro, you're like shoving, poison into your body. Good stuff. Good stuff, MAK. MAK, subscribe. Thank you, MAK. Glad to have you locked in with the community now. This is the best community, MAK. You'll find out soon enough. I'm sure you're already finding out. Juice says, I need to get me one. Should get you a coffee, homie. Or Juice saying he needs a whore. I'm not sure which. Because I was talking about Nina Drama being known as a whore in Arman's country. So I don't know which one Juice said he needs one of. A cup of coffee or a whore. Both would be valid. Juice says the pesticides get you more stemmed up, though. I mean, shit, I'm not going to deny that one, Jew. I'm sure you do get a bit more stemmed with pesticides. It's like a cross high. You're getting cross-faded, whatever the fuck kind of high that pesticide gives you, plus the caffeine. Tom says, smart man, that's all I drink, organic Italian coffee. Got to. HT says, just give up coffee altogether. Honestly, I don't know if I could give up coffee altogether, boys. I'm I think I need to be caffeinated. Or it's like, I don't know, if I was just like doing nothing all day. If I was doing nothing all day, boys, I wouldn't really need to be caffeinated. But I just feel like, I'm always doing shit, and it's better if I'm caffeinated. I even have a bit more fun on stream when I'm a bit caffeinated. If I'm low energy, it's kind of not as fun, Sometimes I'm on here, I get like 2 cups of coffee deep, and I start like rapping. And I'm not talking literally rapping. What I'm talking like, I'm just spitting. I just be spitting facts. They just be coming off the dome easier. So I don't know about giving up coffee yet. But if I wasn't doing shit all day, I mean, I wouldn't have a use for it either. MMA cases, Tim Welsh talks about this a lot. Yeah, my brother put me onto the organic coffee. He put me onto that. But I do watch Tim Welsh coffee videos. I definitely have watched a few of them. Shout out to the AeroPress. You feel me? Juice says a drip coffee machine. Ah, I got you, homie. Yeah, definitely run one of those up. Space Kid says Jew, I agree. Shout out to Space Kid. Shout out the drip coffee machines. It's better for you than beer, a little chronic in coffee. Yeah, I love a little chronic in coffee. Jew goes, I used to say that, but days I don't do shit, I get all stimmed. Interesting, interesting. If there was a day where I really didn't have to do shit, the only time I'll get stimmed, well, I'll still get stimmed. I mean, shit, now I'm going to explain it to you guys, you're going to be like, bro, you getting stimmed regardless. But it's like, on a day where I don't got nothing to do, I'm still going to drink the coffee in the morning, like 3 cups. Call me crazy, but it's 3 cups every morning. And then 200 milligrams caffeine to the dome in the pre-workout before the gym. You know, that's a must every day, no matter what I'm doing. That's always going to be a thing. But, you know, sometimes in the middle of the day, I be adding a bang in that bitch, another 200 milligrams caffeine. And that's the one I'm talking about. And also this coffee right here towards the evening, I wouldn't be doing this one either. But I'm definitely getting stimmed at least twice a day. Shout out Bloodhound Lil Jeff for becoming a member. Welcome to the Perry Punch fam, homie. We got a new member alert. Bloodhound Lil Jeff, he finally was able to buy it. Let's go, homie. Shout out Bloodhound. Member gang. Shit, homie, a member now. Let's go. Hey, this will be listen, this will be a incentive, and it's never a guarantee because it's random. But for those of you guys who tune in to tomorrow's stream, I'll gift out some memberships. How many can I gift out? Let me see. If so, I'm going to gift out memberships in tomorrow's stream. That'll just be a little incentive for you guys to tune in. I'm trying to see how much I can gift out, or like what's the number? Membership gifting. Okay. I'm gonna give out 3 memberships tomorrow. Okay. I can give 5, but I'm actually planning on doing some giveaways in the future. So I don't want to just gift out 5 memberships. I'd rather save some of that giveaway money for actual giveaways. I'm gonna gift 3 memberships in tomorrow's live. So tune in tomorrow, you know, and you'll get gifted a membership hopefully. But I'll do that for you boys. I'll gift out 3 membies in tomorrow's live streaming fight companion. So tune in, come through tomorrow, watch the fights with me. Watch the fights with your boys. I got nobody to watch them with, boys. If you don't slide through, you literally leaving me hanging, you know? It's like your homie who texted you and they're like, yo, come through for the fights. And then you just fucking like don't show up, you know? It's kind of what it's like. Like I got nobody else to watch it with. So tomorrow, slide through for the fights. I'll be here and I'll gift out 3 membies. Space Kid, hopefully you get one, homie. Hopefully you get one. I'm hoping you get one. I know you've been wanting one, so let's try to get you one tomorrow. I'm gonna give out 3 of them, and I'll even make sure, Space Kid, if you tune in tomorrow, I'll try to shout you out. I'll be like, Space Kid, you in here? All right, I'm finna gift them. You know, so just to make sure you're eligible, I'll do that. I'll be here, homie. Perfect. Shout out to Tom. This is the only MMA live stream. It's the only one. It's literally the only one. But, you know, shout out to Guru and shout out to MMA Joey, you know. Shout out to them. Bloodhound says you might want to have a direct link to become a member on your YouTube. It was a hassle to join because the iOS app wouldn't let me. I had to do it through my smart TV. Okay. I will do that. I think I can put a link to buy a memby in the bio or in the description of the videos. So I'll do that. Thank you, Bloodhound. I will get on that. Hey, by the way, I know we're just kind of chopping it up. I'm trying to get into this Nina thing, but a lot of things are just coming off the dome right now. There's space for one more emoji. I think I'm gonna still make it a Nate Diaz one, but I'm probably gonna remove one emoji and put a new one in. So if anybody got an emoji suggestion, I'll be taking one emoji suggestion. Like if anybody got like a funny idea or something, I can add it in. Tony Sal. Yeah, we ain't shouting at that little fucker, but that's all right. What's included if you join the membership? You get I haven't done any members only lives yet, but you get a members only live. We'll probably eventually do that. I just want it to be like, I want the memberships to grow and then we can do that, because it would kind of suck if I do a members only live and there's like 4 people in there. You know, it's not like vibing. So, you know, I'm still planning on doing some members only lives in the future, but you get a members only live, unreleased full interviews. MAK, you're a little bit new to the channel, I'm assuming. So, you know, whenever I get an interview, right, I be chopping it up. I be posting the clips and then I post the full thing. There's a few reasons why I do that, you know, and I guess the main reason why I do that is because I want all the headlines. And if I post the full interview with the Joaquin Buckley, then I don't get to exclusively post every headline we did in that interview. So if you're a member, you get access to the full interview. And it's not just only the full interview, but it's the full raw, unedited interview. You know, the raw, unedited Zoom interview. So you get to see like the bloopers and everything. And then you also get access to emojis. So that would be, I think, off the top of the dome, what members get. Then you also get some shout outs, priority in the chat. You feel me? I show some extra love to the members. You get little icons next to your name, depending on how long you've been a member. So all these things. Not for real, wait for the members only live streams. Yeah, we're going to do some stuff like that for sure. I was thinking a way to do it is like at the end of the stream or something, I'll be like, all right, we're going to go members only. You know, I'm going to chop it up with the boys for a little bit. So, you know, become a member if you want to be in that. But I'm waiting for it to grow a little bit. Yeah, bro, you're the GOAT. Your channel going to keep climbing. 100%, Lil Jeff. 100%, homie. And thank you for all the support, homie. Much appreciated. MGal saying, yo, what's poppin', MGal? MMAK says, God, you need a vibe for sure. Yeah, we got to always be vibing. You think Adesanya's nose is broken? I think that bend in the nose happened in this camp. I don't think it happened from the Imavov fight. I think it happened from this camp, bro. And honestly, I think Izzy kind of posting about it. Go look at his IG. He posted a mega close-up of it. Like a mega close-up. I could show you real quick. You know, this right here. I got this photo from Izzy's profile. Like, if you, like, homie literally, I feel like Izzy posting this photo of his nose, he like, yeah, I got a broken nose and I'm still gonna win. No excuses. Watch me shine tomorrow. That's what I took from this. From Izzy posting this. It's like the ultimate no fucks given, you know? Yeah, I got a broken nose. What's Joe Pyfer gonna do about it? He gotta hit me in that nose. He can't hit me, you know? But I'm just saying, once again, Izzy posted this. I got this off of Izzy's IG. And it's kind of sus that he posted it. But I think it's more of a confidence thing than like he putting out a pre-built excuse. I think he really on that timing right now. Like, yeah, my nose broke. And so what? You know, what's Joe Pyfer going to do about it? You know, I think he really on that timing right now. It's like a slap in the face, but not really. It's just kind of like I'm gonna fight you anyway, bro. I don't give a fuck how injured I am. I'll even post it. Here you go. You know, yeah, my nose broken. So what? You know, I like it. Maybe I'm building my own narrative, but I do like it. I do like it. Okay, Nina Drama confronting Giorgio. Let's just get into it. Tom says, yeah, it looks different. He's a warrior. I mean, he's good at not getting hit for the most part. So yeah, Izzy is. Yeah, Izzy is good at not getting hit for the most part. Oh yeah, and MAK for members, there are some live streams that I've made members only just because they got a little crazy. And any future live streams that get a little crazy, you know, I reserve the right to make them members only. not free to the public. So sometimes I do be getting a little crazy. I haven't gotten crazy in a couple months, but that's another perk you get. You know, members only live streams like that are, because sometimes I'll do the live stream to the public, but then I'll make it members only once I'm offline. So if you're a member, you get access to all of it. You don't miss anything. And who knows, like in the future, like I might do something like I might make these whole 90-day live streams. I might make that all members only. So you never know. Although there's really no point in going back to watch my streams because I'm doing it every night. It's pretty, it's not evergreen content. Pretty much dies out after a couple days. Chain Fire Mech Warrior says, yo, Jacob and company, what's poppin', homie? Good to see you in the chat, big dog. 1216, you just made it. I always know that the Friday nights, it's chilling. I could go live as late as I want. Because I'm sure so many people are like just doing shit on a Friday. So many times I've come home at like, 12 p.m. drunk. And I'm like wide awake. Shit. Perfect time to throw me on. Nina Drama. Sorry for the wait, boys. But Nina Drama confronts Georgio Poullas after REF07 press conference for comments about being Arman Tsarukyan's girlfriend. What was that? That was shitty promo. It was disrespectful. I didn't like it. Whatever. It's fine. I mean, this spineless ass bitch.
With my 10K that we shake the hand.
Well, you give me a date with your girlfriend Nina and I'll give you 10K.
What do you say?
Uh-oh.
What did you say?
You give me a date with your girlfriend Nina and I'll give you your 10K.
Giorgio. Hey, Giorgio.
Media.
What was that?
What
was that?
We're going to have some one-on-ones
A shitty
available
promo.
outside this store.
Respectfully. It was disrespectful.
What part?
The part where you mentioned me up there. It's disrespectful.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
No, because you were nice in the lobby, and I took a picture. And I was trying to be really respectful, but I didn't like that shit.
Sorry.
I didn't like it.
I apologize.
Whatever. It's fine.
With my 10K.
This girl's unsufferable, bro. This girl's fucking unsufferable. Listen. The way you insert yourself in all this stuff, you coming around all fight week, you always putting yourself, you not just like this person who interviews these guys, you in the car with Arman, you too close. Of course he's going to make a joke that you're Arman's girlfriend, and you shut the fuck up and you take it. Oh my gosh, bro. You involve yourself. You're part of the game. You don't want to be called his girlfriend, then don't show up to this shit. Keep it more professional. Stop kicking it with them 24/7. Stop having videos leaked of him saying, telling your husband that he could fly back to the whatever state he lives in. We don't need him here anymore. There's just a video of her and Arman driving in a sports car, Arman on the phone with her husband saying, listen, homie, we don't need you anymore. Go home. I bet you she loved all that clout. Did she say shit to Arman? What was that? But that's why you get called his girlfriend, because literally of these types of clips that surface. But now Giorgio out of pocket. You and your like fucking straight out of a Disney movie. This straight out of a Disney movie. One more time, straight out of a Disney movie. We got to watch it one more time.
That we shake the hand.
Well, you give me a date with your girlfriend Nina and I'll give you 10K.
What do you say?
Uh-oh.
What did you say?
You give me a date with your girlfriend Nina and I'll give you your 10K.
Giorgio. Hey, Giorgio.
Media.
What was that?
What
was that?
We're going to have some one-on-ones
A shitty
available
promo.
outside this
What was that?
store.
Respectfully. It was disrespectful.
What part?
The part where you mentioned me up there. It's disrespectful.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
No, because you were nice in the lobby, and I took a picture. And I was trying to be really respectful, but I didn't like
You were nice in the lobby, and I took a picture, and I was trying to be really respectful. You were nice in the lobby.
that shit.
Sorry.
I didn't like it.
I apologize.
Whatever. It's fine.
I didn't like that shit. I didn't like it. It's like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, bro. It's like, bro, and then it also what annoys me is, bro, let him sell the fucking match. Get the fuck out of his face. Let him sell the match. You know everything that's going on here, and you're gonna just throw it away because it involves you. Like, please, bro, please. Let him sell the damn match. Stay out of the way. This isn't about you. You've already got enough camera time. Go do your stream without a fighter and see how well you do. I'm sure you got a bunch of thirsty dudes still wanting to watch you, so just go do that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really fuck with it. Let him sell the damn fight. Like, what are you coming up to him, confronting him for, as if you really think he meant it? Like, he can't use you to sell a fight. You're off limits. You're not fucking off limits. You're definitely not off limits. Definitely not off limits. So anyway, shout out to Nina and her cleavage. Nina's with this little twat. Very embarrassing. Blow down little Jeff says, is her boyfriend Gordon Ryan? I don't know. I guess he's like black and Mexican or something. You guys know Nina's 42. She's 40 years old, acting like a fucking Disney Channel girl on High School Musical. She like 40. Going up to Giorgio like that. Like, bro, you're 40. She said, uh-oh, because she thought Arman would beat his ass. Seeing as she's getting packed by Pereira. Oh, shout out to Jez the Moose. Nina's with this little twat. Very embarrassing, seeing as she's getting packed by Pereira. Is she getting packed by Pereira or what? Bloodhound Little Jeff says, dead ass 40. Bro, she pushing 40. How old is Nina Drama? 36. She 36, bro. She old. She old, bro. She 36. Still acting like she in a Disney movie. It's crazy. She's 36, still acting like she in High School Musical. That was disrespectful. What was that? Whatever. It's fine. Oh my God, bro. Giorgio, you're such a bitch for not standing on business, bro. Such a bitch for not standing on business. All you had to say was, yeah, I'm selling it. Like, I'm selling it. And she goes, you know, I'm offended. Just be like, all right, you know, all right. I guess Giorgio handled it decently. He's like, I didn't mean to offend you. But he shouldn't have said sorry. He should have made her seem more like, you know, stop tripping. I'm selling the fight. But instead he apologized. I wish he would have said, like I said, more along the lines of like, stop tripping, you know? That's what she needed to hear. Stop tripping. Stop tripping. I didn't even mean anything by it. What you confronting me for? Like, I didn't even, it's a throwaway comment. I'm selling the fight. Like, stop tripping. Thoughts on Giorgio? Sorry if I missed it already. I haven't really given any thoughts on Giorgio for the day, but MMAK, you do know that I got an interview with Giorgio, right? I interviewed him before the Arman fight, if you do care to watch it. But my thoughts on Giorgio is, guess my thoughts on Giorgio is that he pulled out all the stops for the Arman Tsarukyan press conference, and it's a little bit cringe. You know, it's a little bit cringe. I guess Giorgio, my thoughts on Giorgio is that his persona now gives off like Jake Paul, you know, and he already told me in the interview he wants to be the Jake Paul of MMA. He wants to take the Jake Paul route in MMA, but like everything with Giorgio is a bit manufactured. It's not really authentic. It's like thought out and scripted, you know? That's what I would say about Giorgio. From seeing his performance at the press conference, everything he does is thought out and scripted. You know, your girlfriend, give me a date with her and I'll give you the 10K. Whatever else he did. I forget what else he did, but it was all scripted. It was all pretty much scripted. Oh, playing the phone, the audio from the previous press conference. It's like all scripted. Like Giorgio was like, okay, I'm just gonna come in here with like, you know, he almost like game planned for this press conference, and like Arman doesn't do that. So I don't know. I don't really like game planning for press conferences. Like when you come into a press conference pre having done what you're gonna say, I actually don't respect it. Nina with the short king. Who is Giorgio? This is Giorgio. So this is the Giorgio and Arman face-off. One of the many face-offs that took place today. Let's just take a look. Arman made him square up, though. By the way, does anyone notice how Spartans, the same company who's sponsoring me, is on the RAF banner over here? They're sponsoring the event. And there's only 3 companies. There's RAF, Fox Nation, and then Spartans.com on that banner. And you know, that's my sponsor too, but kind of interesting. Spartans is also sponsoring RAF as a whole. And Perry Punch. You know what's funny to me? You guys have no idea how many people have reached out to me asking me like for information on this. It's like, bro, the fuck, I never talked to you before in my life and you asked me to put you in contact with my sponsor. Like, what the fuck? So many people. How much are they paying you? All that's, it's like, bro, mind your own business, homie. Just a little bit. Like, oh my gosh, I'm not even really flexing it that much. This is the most I've ever talked about it, you know? But a lot of people keep, you know, asking me. So that's the face-off. Adesanya versus Pyfer. Here's what I wanted to show you. Dillon, Danis, and Colby Covington. Bro's jacked. He is kind of jacked. I would like to have a Mog off next to Giorgio. I'm not sure if I would Mog Giorgio or not. Maybe I'll show you guys the physique, the post-pump physique today. Maybe should I show you guys the post-pump physique today? See if I'm bigger than Giorgio. I took a progress pic in the gym today. Anyway, Dillon Danis claims he has nudes of Colby Covington's sister. Covington says, Dillon, I promise I'll take it easy on you tomorrow if you give me your mom's phone number. And Danis goes, I already have your sister's nudes. We got your sister's nudes on lock. Is insane. Giorgio definitely on gear. Giorgio, I don't know. I asked him if he's natty. He said he is. So it would be rude of me to, you know, accuse him. But he pretty big. But I just want to know, like, hold on. Let's have a Diddy moment, shall we? One Diddy moment, boys. Let's have one Diddy moment. 1 second. I feel like you boys just need to know. I think you boys need to be put on game. Where's Tuxedo Mask? Tuxedo Mask gonna lose his shit again when he sees it. All right, this is gonna be quick because now I'm feeling shy. 1 second, 1 second. No, keep the shirt on. The shirt's coming off. Well, I'm not taking it off. I'm showing you guys a progress pic. Give me 1 second. One Diddy moment, boys. One Diddy moment for the stream. 1 second. Holy moly. Holy moly. Your boy is shredded to the gills. This is hours ago. Someone send this to any of my arch rivals. Someone send this to Martin Sano and tell him I'm looking for him. So I just want to know, you know, who bigger, me or Giorgio? I think I got Giorgio. I think I got Giorgio. For the one time, I'm going to leave it on here. What we thinking? Bro got Clavs build. Natty. All natty. All natty. All right. That's enough. That's enough. But I just need to put you guys on game one time. You know, one time. Shit, send it over, Tony Sal. You already know what to do. One time. Looks edited. Nah. Bro. The only thing I did was bring down the brightness a little bit. But it's not edited at all. No filter, no nothing. Straight off the camera. AJD, don't do that, homie. Come on now. Too blurry to be edited. Yeah, kind of true. Kind of true. I'm trying to get like, bro. Shit, we got you, Jew. We got you. You gonna be there soon, Jew. You stay on that deficit, Jew. Jew, I'll challenge you right now. I'll say this. Lock in on the deficit for 20 days, homie. 20 days. It's not as easy as people think. You know, 20 days, lock in on the deficit, homie. And you're going to see a world of difference. And you're going to be like, all right, like I just unlocked a new level. 20 days of the diet, homie. 20 days in the deficit. Run that up. What you do for core, you're going to be surprised, homie. I don't really do much for core at all. Like, it's kind of crazy. I don't really do much for core at all. But my favorite core workouts, I would say, are just like decline sit-ups. You know, decline, right? The sit-up machine, essentially. Decline sit-ups. Free weight. And then I like to do the where my legs are hanging, and then I do straight, you know, you feel me, right? I'm hanging on that thing. That same thing you do the tricep dips on, you can hang on it and do like leg raises. That's pretty much what I do for abs, you know, sit-ups and then those straight leg raises. And then if there's that ab wheel, if anybody got access to an ab wheel, I would run the ab wheel too. You know, that one that you roll out and you're on your knees, and then you come in and you roll out and you're on your knees. That's a good one. Cupcake says, real recognized, real shout out. All them push-ups bets caught up to bro. Definitely did. We got some gains off them push-ups. Shit's insane, low-key. Shout out to Space Kid. For the one time, I had to show the boys the real physique, you know, for the one time. And now, you know, with all that being said, shit, where's Martin Sano? I want him. I want to run it with Martin Sano. I'm ready. I told you guys I'm ready. I told you guys I'm TTG. I'm always TTG. It's all diet, eh? Pretty much. A lot of diet. Got chiseled abs with the simple core routine. Good genetics. Yeah, I think a little bit of it is genetics, because I don't know. I didn't eat a lot of protein for a long time. And like everybody always says that you need 200 grams of protein, or like a pound or a gram per pound of body weight. And I was like, damn, like I put on muscle and I wasn't even eating that much protein. Like when I tracked it for the first time, I was only getting like 100 grams a day, bro. If that, like 90. And I was like, damn, I thought I was getting like 200. So anyway, some people, I think, yeah, maybe more muscle bound than others. Diet, what the fuck are they feeding this guy? Shit. I don't know. Chicken and rice. And some shrimp as well. Sweet potato. Okay, let's look at the nude video. I was trying to start eating more but better. Well, I got you, homie. Like I said in the past, if you guys got any specific questions, you can always drop it in. That'll pique my interest. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. We could be talking about anything. If somebody drops in like a nutrition question, I'm going to see it and I'm going to make sure I respond to it. Just so you guys know, it's not an inconvenience. So, Space Kid, with that being said, homie, as you're trying to eat more, but eat clean, if you got any questions, shit, you know, just ask it. You think Chipotle would be good to put on weight or protein? Bro, Chipotle is like top. Fast food, bro. Chipotle and In-N-Out is like premier. Chipotle better than In-N-Out, though. Chipotle be better than In-N-Out in terms of gains? Yeah, bro. Definitely Chipotle's fire. I know people get on Chipotle about the microplastics, but it's like, bro, you know, you're getting real meat. Like, who cares about the microplastics? You're getting microplastics plus like fake ass meat anywhere else you go. Like Chipotle, it's all whole ingredients. Like, yeah, you might be getting a little bit of pesticides or something, but like in the grand scheme of fast food, I mean, Chipotle is pretty fucking top notch. Yeah. You know my order from Chipotle? I go chicken bowl, and then I go all the toppings. I go all the toppings. Mild salsa though. All the toppings, mild salsa, light lettuce. And then I go tortilla on the side. And then I get a side of chips as well. And then I also get queso. But then I also get the hot sauce on the side. And then I mix the hot sauce with the queso. Make it like an extra spicy queso. And that's the Chipotle order right there. Also black beans. Black beans and double white rice. That's the order right there. Chicken bowl, black beans, double white rice. Shit, I'll even press them for some extra chicken, but no charge. You know, I don't want to pay for the extra chicken. Just give it to me off the strength. And then all the toppings, light lettuce. You guys know the deal from there. Tortilla on the side, chips, queso, and the hot sauce on the side that you mix with the queso. Fire me up. Yo, I'm drinking my pesticide coffee right now. You feel me? Shout out to Tony Sal. Joining me, the late night coffee grind. We on that 12:30 a.m. coffee grind right now. Only true degenerates, you know. And shout out to everybody in the stream right now, because this is the true like degenerate stream right here. You know, this is the true degenerate stream right here. This like the true street soldiers for real. You know, we got Space Kid, we got Jew, we got HT, we got Tony Sal in this bitch. Like, these are some of the true street soldiers. AJD always in here, Cupcake, Perfecto, even Tom in this bitch. So shout out to all you guys. All the late night degenerates. I'm fucking with you boys. We here. Shit, shout out to you boys. Drop the Sean Strickland emoji. Black beans hit different. Yeah, I fuck with the black beans. Just take some test and diet decent. Honestly, not a bad combo either. Not a bad combo. I forgot to mention Bloodhound Lil Jeff. Can't forget him. Straight degen stream, late night. I knew this was going to be that way. Anyway, let's just watch this one. This is actually kind of funny. You know, it's a compilation, so you're going to hear all the times they dissed each other's mom and sister in one little clip. Here you go.
Tell us your mom's hot.
Cheers.
Miss Danis?
Yeah, you want me to tell you something else?
I'm not going to be able to talk if I see Miss Danis in here. She is absolutely stunning, gorgeous. Can we get a round of applause for Miss Danis?
We'll give a shout out to his. All right, he's not gonna let me talk, but we'll give a shout out to his sister too, because my boy's been banging her for like 5-6 years now. So shout out to Candace. I'll probably just choke him unconscious. I don't know what I want to do yet. Maybe come out, fight in stance, and see who has a better boxing.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Bro. I promise I'll take it easy on you tomorrow if you give me your mom's phone number.
Well, I already got your sister's nude, so we got your sister's nudes on lock.
Next question.
Mike, I can't
we'll
focus.
send them after
Dylan
everybody.
Danis' mom is in the back room. Come
Where's
on,
Candace
man.
at? Oh, no, she's with my boy in fucking, where is it? I forgot where they are. Aspen or something? Yeah. Or Mykonos, sorry, yeah.
But
She's a boat girl. Yeah, yacht girl.
But Colby, for you, so it's going to be a great match, and hopefully he's going to give me his mom's number. You know, they call me the cardio king for a reason. So I've been really practicing my cardio in the bedroom. So you know, I've been
hanging out with Kyle Snyder too much.
That
That's why.
bedroom cardio is going to really shine tomorrow on the RAF mat, and hopefully afterwards in the celebration with Dillon's mom.
What is it? I couldn't hear what he said. What?
He didn't say
I
much.
can't hear you. What is that? I'm 2 feet away from you, and I got a fucking closed can of fucking
All
beer
right,
that goes
I got
through
a
your
question
head.
right here.
If you
Colby,
want to go that way, we go
up
that
until
way,
this
too.
point,
Dillon, if he wins tomorrow, you're going to give him your mom's number?
Huh? Well, tomorrow we'll be celebrating with his sister, so we'll send the news out to everybody in the
It's going to be a
crowd
great
and
match.
everything. So
I'm
don't
excited.
worry about that.
Dillon, you know, bro.
Yeah, so shout out to Colby's sister, I guess. But Dillon Danis, he won that shit. And then Dillon Danis straight mogged Colby. I mean, we know mogging when we see one. And I mean, to be honest, you know, Danis mogged Colby. Also, I don't know where I seen it, but Danis is saying, you know, the UFC's fucking up by not booking him and Shanko in the UFC. And it's like, bro, that's the move. You know, Danis versus Shanko in the UFC. Stop playing around. Tom says, are they wrestling tomorrow? Yes, they are wrestling. Freestyle wrestling match tomorrow. HT says, I know a lot of people hate Dillon Danis. I find him hilarious. I support the dude. Me too. Like, bro, I don't know. Like, why would I hate Dillon Danis? Like, I actually really like the guy. And I don't know. I don't even know what people are going to say. Usually I can have a pretty good idea of what the arguments people are going to say are. But I know people are going to say something to make me look stupid for saying I like Dillon Danis. But I've never disliked Dillon Danis. In fact, when I make videos, or when I'll make after an event, after the main event takes place, I'll do like these fighters react posts on IG, right? Where I'll just compile a bunch of fighter reactions. And one person I've always put in there, as long as he gives us a reaction, is Dillon Danis. And I always get shit in the comments like, stop putting Danis in there. He's not a fighter. It's like, bro, they're too funny not to. Like, it's too funny not to. It's a disservice to not put Dillon Danis's jokes in these fucking fighter reactions. And it's like free engagement because it's like at least 10 comments telling me Dillon's not a fighter. It's like, I don't give a fuck. Clearly, I'm putting him in here, you know. Dillon Danis is the UFC. Dillon got a lot of fans after he shit on Logan. He did. I think he lost about half of those fans he gained though after he was done fighting Logan. He like got a bunch of new fans during the promo, then he lost about half of them after the fight. Just because of how bad the performance was. Eustace says Colby versus Dillon equals fire. I'm intrigued to see this matchup tomorrow. Tom says, never liked Dillon since he came on the scene training McGregor against Diaz. Fair enough.
Go back.
Okay, we're good. Get squirrel. Yeah, put your head off. Take glue to your head. I was going to get that. Give me that. The left hand. Yeah. All right, let's face these guys. There we go. Forward.
Okay. And then in other news on the day, pay-per-view numbers from 2024 and 2025 have been revealed in a new report. So, I mean, they're a bit scattered a little bit. You know, you got UFC 300 all the way to UFC 303. And then there's a big gap between 303 and 311, so to speak. like 4 through 10 don't get accounted for, and I don't know. I don't even really care to look at which ones they are. They probably, I don't know, I'll just assume that the ones they skipped are probably bigger pay-per-views, right? I don't know though. I don't know. We can look it up another time. But UFC 300, 301, 302, 303, 311, and 312, all the pay-per-view buys have been revealed. And I mean, this Paramount deal makes a lot more sense now. Like a world of a lot more sense. Pay-per-view was completely dead. Like pay-per-view was completely gone, dead. You know, I think ESPN was overcharging the fuck out of fans with the $89.99. Like no MMA fan is going to pay $1,000 a year, bro. You were cornering us in to not buying those pay-per-views. But if they were $50, we probably still wouldn't buy it just because like it's just not the demographic. Like we don't got money. So most of the fans don't got money. And then, you know, with the free streaming being so easy, like, of course, these numbers aren't going to sell. But let's just take a look. You know, UFC 300, 615K pay-per-view buys. 301 drops off a cliff, bro, by almost 100, almost like, I don't know what the percentage is of this, 90%. It goes from 615K buys for 300 to 67K buys for 301. You know, Pantoja versus Urseg. MAK says watching PFL too. I will be watching PFL tomorrow. Definitely watching PFL Pittsburgh. But yeah, 67K pay-per-view buys underneath 100 is insane. It just shows though that like, you know, you give us a fight nobody wants and we're not gonna we're really not gonna watch it. You know, we're really not gonna watch it. And Pantoja versus Urseg was definitely one of those fights. .302 Makhachev versus Poirier. 410 pay-per-view buys. 410K. Pretty good. Pretty good. UFC 303 Pereira versus Prohaska 2. 274K buys. Pereira Prohaska 2, 274K buys is kind of crazy. Did I say UFC 300 got 615K buys? I did, right? Pereira versus Jamal Hill. Then UFC 311, 240K pay-per-view buys. And UFC 312, 176K pay-per-view buys. So it's like, I don't know, Sean Strickland not really a star. Pereira not really a star. It's like he isn't. He went from selling 615K pay-per-view buys to 274. This is the news about this, though, you know? Pay-per-view is dead, and it made a lot of sense why Dana White signed on with Paramount. There was no point, you know, in seeking out another pay-per-view deal. There's just no point. If you look at the metrics of 67K pay-per-view buys, and it's like, I don't even think ESPN wanted to run it with him again. They're like, this ain't even worth it, bro. We paid you billions, and we getting 67K buys. We paid you billions, and we getting 67K buys. No wonder ESPN was also raising their prices like crazy, bro. They're trying to make sure they recoup that money because the UFC was not delivering. I just want to do a calculator real quick. What's 107? What did like for example, right? Sean Strickland UFC 312, 176K. 176 times $89, right? I didn't buy them, so let me just Google how much are UFC pay-per-views. 79. I thought it was 79. Okay, so 79. 99, right? That's 14 million. You know, but 14 million is a drop in the bucket when we're talking about billions. Billions. And then, you know, ESPN doesn't get the full 14 million. Keep in mind, the champion is also getting a cut of that pay-per-view. So, food for thought on that one. ESPN signed UFC to a big old deal, and I don't even think they recouped a lot of their money. Maybe they did in the earlier days, but as the deal was coming to an end, it was becoming less and less profitable. Let's just put it like that. As the deal was coming to an end, it was becoming less and less profitable. I don't think that this was the case early on in the ESPN deal, in the ESPN era, but after a while, that's definitely why they started increasing prices, in my humble opinion. I think more people just started streaming. Definitely, it became a lot easier. But it's like the 89 or the 79 is steep, bro. The 79 is steep. I got to think that some people would have paid maybe $49.99, but $79.99 is just a bit much. But like how do we explain this, right? How do we explain this one? Makhachev versus Poirier, 410K pay-per-view buys. DDP versus Strickland, 176K pay-per-view buys. Drew says to justify the 80 every pay-per-view was crazy. If they made shit $20 to $40, I'd pay every pay-per-view. Exactly. I think I would have paid it too. They would have got my money on at least half of them. But to justify the 80 every pay-per-view is crazy. I'm not sure what that one means, but like yeah, some of these pay-per-views weren't very good. You know, like Islam versus Hanato, we all know the deal there. And this one. Even Pereira versus Jamal Hill. This was a replacement. It was supposed to be John Jones versus Stipe, right? Buyer seller says, I'll use the money I saved from not buying pay-per-view on beer that night, then use HDMI and connect to the TV on Stream East. Yeah. That's a good finesse. It's like I'm gonna spend $90 on beer instead. So yeah, Juice says, but even at 80, you can't even watch it back. It doesn't go into a library or nothing. For the 80, they should have been shipping out a t-shirt with every purchase. No, that is true, huh? You couldn't even watch it back, if I remember correctly. Like if you bought it, I don't think you could just watch it back anytime. And they definitely should have been sending out a shirt, bro. They definitely should have been sending out a shirt. 80's insane. But I don't know. I'm kind of guessing it was a reflection on like the lack of sales. You know, declining sales. They're like, fuck it. We're going to fuck these UFC fans over. We're not going to eat this. UFC fans are going to eat this. I'll spend 80 for Alexa Grasso's OnlyFans. Okay, shout out to Alexa Grasso's feet pics on buyer seller. Let's go to champ rounds. JK, she too good for that. She not too good for feet pics though. Nah, because even the biggest selling pay-per-views were like 65. 65 what? I might be getting a little tired and slow, boys, so sorry about that if I'm missing things. But 65, even the biggest selling pay-per-views were like $65. They got greedy. Oh, I think Drew's saying because I said they raised the prices because the lack of sales. So I think Drew's saying maybe the $65 ones were selling big, so there was no need to increase the price. Potentially. I'm just guessing anyway. But that would have been my, that was my first guess. Maybe it was a response to the declining sales. I know that they were popping more back in the day, and this little turn of boringness has only really happened in 2025. You guys realize that, right? Like all of 2025 and this year is when the UFC got boring. 2024 was like the last straw. The writing was on the wall. But before 2024, like the UFC was exciting. 2024, the UFC was still exciting. But like I'm telling you guys, if we didn't have Joaquin Buckley and Alex Pereira, the only person who would have been exciting in 2024 was like Ilia Topuria. Joaquin, Alex Pereira, and Ilia were like the fighters of 2024. I think we got John Jones, but he retired, right? So 2024 was the last good year of the UFC, but it was, the writing was on the wall. 2023, we couldn't have seen it coming. 2023, we had no clue what was coming. It was like the beginning of Pereira and shit. We were still in the good old days. Deadass, what the fuck happened, bro? Bro, it's like, honestly, I couldn't even put my finger on what exactly happened. Like, what was the difference in 2023 and, 2025? Like, what is the big difference? Essentially, it's like there was a big market for fighters to introduce themselves to the fans and no fighters did it. And that was in 2024. 2024, it was a huge market to introduce yourself to the fans as a fighter who's a relative unknown. Pereira, Ilia, Buckley, right? These guys were able to introduce themselves to the fans. Remember when Buckley showed up to that press conference? He asked for the fight at UFC Seattle. He got it. Like this was the type of thing. I'm almost saying that to say that in 2024, the UFC stopped promoting fighters really. Altogether, like all of them. Which left it open for the fighters to introduce themselves, and the ones who did stood out because there was a lack of promoting going on. If that all kind of like makes sense. Like Joaquin really stood out because no other fighters were getting promoted really. Buckley is Blade. What up, Andrew Nance? Shout out to Andrew Nance in the chat, dropping Hooded Dobers. Tom says Buckley's Blade. Buckley low-key kind of Blade. Juice says, I think Usman versus Masvidal sold 1.3 and that fight was so boring. Yeah, Masvidal was a crazy star. I actually forget about the fight. The knockout was cool to see. In the rematch. Buckley could have been a top shotter, but he lost to Yuri. Yeah. It's because Roundtree kind of like he got the frame, he thick as hell. He probably never going down to middleweight, but he would have been probably a champion at middleweight. Then Dustin and Connor hit 1.6 and that fight ended in a bad way too. Yep. It did end in a bad way. But yeah, I mean, Usman, Masvidal, Poirier, Connor. Those were like the last two big ones. After that, they slowly declined. Yeah, when I do think about the UFC before the decline, Connor versus Poirier is one of the first fights that comes to mind. It's definitely one of the last memorable, like, big moments in the UFC. We even had Pereira versus Izzy 1 and 2. And those were pretty cool. Sean O'Malley was becoming champion, but it all fell off right around that time too. It all fell off right around that time. The face-off between Pyfer and Izzy. I mean, these guys are becoming friends like before they fight. It's like, oh boy. So let's just peep this face-off real quick, but I'm just reading you the subtitles. Pyfer goes, "You're a champion for taking this fight." And Izzy goes, "You gave me a shot, so it's my turn, but I'm going to bring my best. You bring your best."
Awesome, boys. Good luck tomorrow, you two. You gave me a shot, so my turn. What? I'm gonna bring my best. You bring your best. Let's go. Okay. That's what I said. Yes, you was the one every time.
See how Joe Pyfer, he not like passive aggressive and he on his Christian shit, right? He on his Christian shit, right? Look at him with his hand on the side of Izzy's shoulder. You know, no ego, being a nice guy. Izzy also being genuine, you know, taking the underhook, so to speak. But I do not respect it when a guy puts the hand on top of the shoulder. It is passive aggressive. And if you're being nice and genuine, then you should also care about how you're making the other person feel, right?
What happened? What happened? A lot of stuff. We're here.
The grabbing of the head by Izzy is a little bit too much for me, though. Like, this stuff I don't like. Like, bro, why are you grabbing another man on the back of his head? It's kind of gay. But Izzy's asking, so what happened? Like, bro, you guys are really going to ask this shit before the fight? You don't need to know what happened, homie. You're going to fight him. Don't ask him what happened. Izzy goes, what happened? Why'd you become a Christian? Joe mogged him with that hug. Bro, you guys are fighting. What the fuck? It's crazy. Joe did kind of mog with the hug, didn't he? Just big ol' hug. Big ol' hug right into Izzy. Diaz would never. The Diaz brothers would fucking never. And the Diaz brothers should really be like a baseline for MMA. Like, if the Diaz brothers wouldn't do it, you probably shouldn't do it either. Talking into the ear so gay.
I appreciate it. You gave me spirit. You gave me a little energy, so I got you. Don't worry. Hey, I got you.
That is a lot for me. That's a lot for me. I do not like seeing stuff like that.
Israel looking highly focused leading into this matchup tomorrow night.
I think Pyfer said he started off that first sentence. I think he said, you didn't have to take this. And then he said, you're a G for taking it. And yeah, is he low-key a G for taking it? He kind of did have to take it, though. Izzy looks drained as shit. Hopefully he's not. Dana don't even like that shit. I definitely don't like that shit. Does Izzy look drained, boys, or no? I almost didn't notice that. I almost don't think he does look drained. Be curious to know what everybody else thinks. Am I missing something? This line test is gold, though. But it's like, bro, like, I don't know. Are they, like, how come they put this line behind Izzy's shoulder, right? But then this line, like, why don't you put it behind... Is it the ear? The ear needs to be in line with... I don't know. I just feel like you could make this a curve, too. Like, if you draw the line here and you go to the back of the shoulder, it's going to be the same thing. Here you drew the line at the eyebrow, like the tip of the eye, and you went behind the shoulder. Joe is a bit more straight, though. Oh, Space Kid says I was talking about it on the scale, but hopefully not. Okay. Okay. Here's a photo. Yeah, he did look a little bit drained on the scale. He looked like he lost a lot of weight, and he like, I don't know, he looked really scrawny, low-key. Like he didn't have a lot of muscle when he lost the weight. Meanwhile, look at Joe, you know. Izzy looks more drained than Joe in this pic for damn sure. Izzy a big guy though, you know, for middleweight, he kind of a big guy. Like 6'3". Dana looking like, why I come out here for this fucking hug fest? Because he pays Piper's bills. Tony says, yeah, he looks drained. Okay. And then Bloodhound said when the camera looked at Izzy. So there you go. But people making a lot of the green line test. You know, this one. Vallejos and Emmett. Patty. Gaethje. Mario. And Oliveira. Holloway and Oliveira. The line test is undefeated. Mosar and Lerone. Line test low-key undefeated according to this guy JT. Izzy Cook chat. If you guys want to know, I'm rocking with Joe Pyfer going into the fight now. As long as Joe Pyfer ain't on some soft ass shit, I just can't tell. One more poll. I know everybody's gonna rock with Izzy because I did this poll last night, but I just want to know. You know, maybe the hug changed something for you boys. Pyfer not going to want to finish him and just hump him on some Christian shit. Yeah, if he does that, I'm going to be like, I might just throw up. You know, I think that's the last thing we could take right now. That's the last thing we could take, bro. That's the last thing we could take. Bro, I felt like I just like want to make sure I don't got a booger on my face. All right, I think we're chilling. That would be so embarrassing if I was just talking with a booger on my face. That honestly, we need that like we need fucking COVID again, Jew. You know, Joe Pyfer avoiding the finish because God doesn't want him to. Like, please, bro. Please. God gave us all free will, homie. Like, kill this guy, please. Space Kid says, bro, don't switch up what the fuck. It's just like, Space Kid, when I see these highlights of Joe Pyfer with the takedowns, and I know it's his amateur MMA debut, that knockout that's been circulating, but it's just making me feel some type of way. And then I see the green line test, and it's like, damn. The green line test is undefeated in 2026, bro. With all the main events, this green line test is undefeated. Now, there's two ways to look at it. You know, you could look at it as, you know, odds are going to even out eventually. Or you could look at it like this is, you know, this is a sign that Joe Pyfer is going to win tomorrow. But yeah, Space Kid, I think I've officially switched up. I think Joe Pyfer is going to win it. Don't listen to me, though. In fact, probably going against me is the best bet. You would have made more money if you picked all opposite of me this whole year. Would have made some big bags. What else do I got in here? Oh yeah, Awardo says, notice how they hiding Ilya's numbers. So I don't know. I don't know what that means when he said notice how they're hiding Ilya's numbers. Probably means that Ilya sold a lot or what? Or sold a little. I mean, we can't know. We wouldn't know. Did Ilya sell a lot or a little? What would your guys' guess be? But yeah, it appears they took out Ilya's fights from that accounting. Bro, you guys know I fuck with Richard Torres Jr. But like, oh my gosh, Richard, what the hell were you doing here, homie? The fuck were you doing here? It's crazy work, but it's like he had the UFC PI, I guess. Testing his VO2 max, I would assume. This dude would kill Jake Paul. This is the dude I'm talking about that would fucking kill Jake Paul. Sounds like fucking gunshots, bro. This dude would kill Jake. Jake, come see us. Come see us, Jake. We trying to kill you. We trying to kill you, Jake. Come see us. Buyer seller says LMAO. How funny. If you didn't know this dude was a fucking beast, it'd be even funnier. But it's like homie in this getup is hilarious. Like low key. Space Kid says, so should I put Piper TKO round 2? Well, as I was saying, Space Kid, I've been wrong about everything this year. So I would not, if you're saying bet on Piper because I'm switching picks, do not do that. Do not do that. But again, it could be that thing we're talking about where it's like, am I due for a win? You know what I mean? Am I due for a win? Like I've been wrong about everything all year. Am I due for a win? I haven't been wrong about everything. You know, I was right about Vallejos and shit. I think I was right about Movsar. But I've been wrong a few times. Franklin says, I'm definitely trying to figure out this fight. What fight, Franklin? It's late, so I'm just got super short attention span right now. I'd be forgetting a lot of things in the chat. Or like, I'd be forgetting what we were talking about like 10 minutes ago. Juice says, that boy from the Central Valley, he don't want it. No, he don't fucking want it. Jake don't want nothing. Jake don't want nothing from Richard Torres Jr., Olympic silver medalist. He don't want nothing to do with him. He don't want nothing to do with him. Hold on. Here's the face-off between Keith Thurman and Sebastian Fundora. Now, Ryan Garcia said he would knock this dude out. Ryan Garcia says he would knock out Sebastian Fundora. Nah, you called Volk easy. I did call Volk easy. You're right. You're right, Franklin. You're right. You're right. The boys be trolling me so much. They got me thinking I've been wrong about a lot of shit. I did call Volk super easy. In my sleep, I called that shit. Piper TKO round 1 says buyer seller. Okay. HT says only way Izzy loses is if he gets caught, KO'd, but Izzy will win. So HT says Piper ain't catching Izzy. Franklin says Piper Izzy. Yep. Yeah. I'm rocking with Piper now. Low key, I'm rocking with Piper now. Call me crazy. You know, call me crazy. Call me crazy. Who you rocking with, Franklin? I know you're trying to figure it out, but like, who the fuck you rocking with? 71% of people say Izzy, and it was like that yesterday too. It might be the same people in here, but yeah, it was about 70. It's like 70-30 for Izzy. But let's look at this. Let's peep this face off. I mean, a whole head height difference. Something tells me Fundora been with a bitch taller than Keith Thurman. Fundora been with a bitch taller than Keith Thurman. I just know it. I just know it. This like me looking down at, you know what I mean? This like a guy and a girl type shit right here. I got Piper. All right, Tony Sal. Tony Sal got Piper. Buyer seller says only way Izzy loses is if his dog gets brought up. Oh, that is Izzy's kryptonite. That's definitely Izzy's kryptonite. But fucking, dude, if Joe wasn't Christian, he would have definitely brought up the dog. But he's Christian now.
There they are.
Okay, so Franklin says he's got Piper. All right, I got Piper too. Tony Sal got Piper. But everybody voting for Izzy. Jew, you got Izzy, huh? This is also hilarious, though. This fucking hilarious. This is too funny. Too funny. The soldier versus the hijab. Biocelli says, I voted for A's, got you. And then Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero. Weighing in. Homie shredded.
Hi!
Damn, those are some big ass pants.
Почему так? Так вот. Выдохни. 92, 150.
Yoel shredded, bro. Yoel fucking shredded. I was gonna show you guys this real quick. Oh, Jew says, Hart says Izzy, Logic says Pfeiffer. Yeah, I'm going with my logic on this one. Okay, Biocelli says, I do think Izzy's gonna win like 55 to 45%. Okay.
Is John
but like, okay, Drew Dober, he like clip farming off this whole like racist thing now. He making a video that John Jones isn't the GOAT with the allegations that are currently surrounding his name. It's like, bros, definitely clip farming.
Is John Jones the GOAT of MMA? In my opinion, I don't see him as. Now, he has some great finishes, undefeated or so, and had a long title reign. But the problem I have with John Jones is his extracurricular activities outside the cage. The contract negotiations, taking like easier fights, skating away with wins, and obviously the drug testing and the problems with the law. All that combined, I don't feel it's enough to be considered a GOAT. I compare a GOAT to Alex Pereira.
I would just say this though, it's like, so how many wins does he have to get to trump the law? It's like, what are you talking about, Drew? The fuck are you talking about? You made like one decent point, and that's that he's on roids. You know, the second good point you have is that he negotiates his way up to the top, I guess. But like, you saying that because he's been arrested, that, you know, he hasn't done enough to be the GOAT because he's been arrested. How many wins does he have to trump the fucking arrest, bro? What the hell are you on? If he had 7 wins, it'll justify the arrest. But if he has 4 wins, you know, he hasn't done enough. Like, what the fuck?
Guys that take risks. As a fighter, fighters need to be judged on the amount of risks that they take and how they overcome it. And I feel John Jones just doesn't take a lot of risks. He kind of, you know, skates away with wins and tries to negotiate his way to the top. Where Alex Pereira, he cuts the 185, knocks out the champion. Even though he does get knocked out, not undefeated, he then moves up in a weight class, does a tremendous job there, loses one fight, but comes back and rematches in spectacular fashion. Now moving up to heavyweight, trying to be a 3-division champion. That is what I consider a GOAT. I don't care how many losses you have if you take risks and achieve greatness like Alex. So in my humble opinion, I don't consider John Jones the GOAT.
Homie definitely clip farming. Drop the hooded Dober emojis, all the members. Drop the hooded Dober emojis. Dober's the GOAT. Shout out to Tony Sal. Dober definitely, you know, this Dober's year. Juice says, what easier fights? The only easy fight he took was Stipe. Other than that, he took the next best guy up at the time. I would say that the biggest thing that, like, I think you took the point out of my mouth. No, Diddy. Jew. I was gonna say the only thing I could think about is like how John he wouldn't move up to heavyweight when there were other bigger champions. Like when Francis was the heavyweight champion, right? I think that's what Dober's talking about. Dober's saying that John Jones ducked Francis and only returned when Francis left. And I think that's what he's saying about his light heavyweight reign too. You know, that like essentially he would take these big gaps off and then return against a more ideal contender, you know. That's what I think he's talking about. Taking like 18 months off, vacating the belt, then coming back. It's like, I think that's what he's talking about. Not just like taking on the next contenders. Do I agree with Drew? Not really. I think John's kind of the GOAT, bro. John Jones literally came into the UFC and fucking beat every legend they put in front of him in his early 20s. Yeah, I mean, and he's undefeated. I mean, like, come on. Like, how are we going to say John's not the GOAT? Like, John's definitely the GOAT. I know he waited till Stipe was old. Whatever, bro. He's the fucking GOAT. And that's why we should have seen Alex versus John to decide who the real fucking GOAT is. Here's what I was speaking about with Dillon Danis calling out Shanko.
What the UFC is going through right now, they're not making the matches people want to see. They're not making they're not doing what people want, and that's why everybody's going so hard on them right now. You know, they had the opportunity to make me and that guy, John Pork or whatever. That would have been a great storyline. That's what sells, and UFC doesn't understand what sells right now. I think Hunter's taking over. I don't know. Dana used to be really good at it. But yeah, you know, this is entertainment business. It's hard to sell fights when you don't have storylines. You're just making random fights like Bo Nickel and Dawkins, or whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah, Cal Dawkins.
Yeah. What the UFC is going through right now, they're not making the.
My bad. My bad. I was muted. I just said shout out to Dillon. You know, Dillon was cooking. You know, don't let a hardcore fan hear you complaining about the UFC don't got no storylines because they don't want to hear it. But the bottom line is, you know, that, yeah, bro, we need storylines. We need to be pushing fighters. We shouldn't just be making random ass fights. You know, all the storylines matter. And I say that to say that, damn, I just forgot my point. I think I was going to say something along the lines of like, honestly, I forget. Honestly, I forget. Let me just listen to the end of this clip again.
Business. It's hard to sell fights when you don't have storylines. You're just making random fights like Bo Nickel and Dawkins, or whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it's just proof, man. The UFC's in a downturn right now. Oh, this is what I was going to say. This is what I was going to say, okay? This is what I was going to say. Because I said the thing about the hardcores, right? How hardcores don't care about a storyline. You know, they're just going to watch regardless. But this is proof, right? This new report is proof, guys, that it's not just about the hardcores, right? We need to focus. And that's why I'm speaking about storylines, and Dillon Danis is too. We need to focus on getting the casual viewer, you know, locked in. And I know we got a hardcore fan base, but it's just not enough. You know, if our hardcore fan base is generating 67K pay-per-view buys for UFC 301, it's just not enough. You know, hardcore fan base buying UFC 312 DDP versus Strickland, that is not enough. And that's clearly, you know, a hardcore fan base fight right there. DDP versus Strickland, I would have thought that was more casual. But that's the one thing I will say. And that's what complicates things, right? That's what complicates things, trying to attract the casual viewer. But then at the same time, it's like they do that with the Patty and Gaethje fight, and then it doesn't work out, you know? So it's a catch-22. You know, it works and then it doesn't work. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it. But there's no right answer necessarily. Whether or not it has to do with, let's generate our business model after the casual fans, or let's tailor our business model for the hardcore fans. It's tough. It's tough because I feel like they've been doing a little bit of both. You know, they have been relying on the hardcore fans. It's not working. Then they go ahead and they try to appease the casuals, get Paddy Pimblett a title fight. That doesn't work. So I don't know. I don't know. But I just figured I'd point that out. I figured I'd point that out. That I think a bottom line. Okay, let me put it like this then. We need to figure out a way to get more casuals in here. You know, we need to figure out a way to get more casuals in here. I know we tried with Patty, but we got to figure out a different way. And, you know, maybe that's doing Patty versus Arman, right? And maybe the UFC's beefs are getting in the way of some things. And then Kevin from Chicago just dropping a, hey, kid. It's like, who the fuck you think you are, homie? You know what I mean? A little respect would be nice. Hey, kid. Crazy work. Little respect would be nice, Kevin. But Kevin says he's bricked up. Well, shout out to Kevin for being bricked up. So that's what I would say about this whole thing, though. You know, that's what I would say about this whole thing. And that was a pretty deep thought, so I wouldn't have the ability to go back into my Rolodex and say it again. But definitely something up with the UFC right now. Any suggestions, any thoughts, or no? Buyer seller says, congrats, Kevin's bricked up. Hey kid, I'm bricked up, Kevin says, LOL. No Diddy. No Diddy. I don't know if you want to tell a kid that. But shit, you could tell me that. You drop fire, kiddo. There it is again. I know I'd be dropping fire. Posters undefeated on these face-offs, though. We didn't get any of the big three. No P for P. No, it's facts. What's poppin', M-Gal? Jealous of your Laguna weather. Nice and sunny today. Nice and sunny. Space Kid says strange from Kevin. Kevin needs to go get a little bit of strange with that brick, being that he's bricked up. Kevin needs to go get a little bit of strange since he's bricked up. Took a fuckload of THC pills. Damn, high as fuck. Damn, homie. Hey, so I got I'll give you guys, if you guys want a little bit of Castro perspective, let me give you guys a thought I had today. We making myself big, so you know I'm serious. Okay, let me share this thought that I had today. I've actually had this thought for a long time, but it kind of like fizzled out of my brain, but it's back in my brain now. And I'm actually kind of pissed off that this thought fizzled out of my brain for a while. So here's the thought, right? Here's the thought. You know, when you're doing things you don't want to do per se, and it does work on the opposite end when you're doing things you want to do and when you're doing things you don't want to do. But let me start off with when you're doing things you don't want to do, right? when you're doing things you don't want to do, time probably goes by slow, so to speak. Take the treadmill, for example. You doing cardio on the treadmill, you don't really want to do it, right? But you doing it. You're going to do 30 minutes. You keep looking at the clock, and it's like, you know, oh man, it's only been 1 minute. It's only been 1 minute. It's only been 2 minutes. But in my opinion, maybe I just tricked my brain, but in my opinion, I really believe that that is really living. You know, that is really living when the time's going by slow. You know, that's when you're really living. You're feeling every second of life. You know, a minute feels like 3. And honestly, I think that's low-key kind of a blessing, is it not? Because how many times when you're not doing shit, the day flies by? And are you going to call that living? Is that living? When a day just flies by, easy, you know, you had no troubles, nothing to overcome. Is that really living? The day went by like that. You know, a day came and gone, right? We all getting older. We not getting younger. So it's like, the way I kind of see it is, yeah, I'm getting older. I want my life to be as long as possible. What could I do to make my life as long as possible? Kind of making myself struggle. A cold shower is perfect. You know, a cold shower, you're going to be like, how long has this cold shower been? You're going to think it's been a minute. It's been 10 seconds. That's probably really living. If you understand, you understand. But I want my life to feel like it lasted a long time. I don't want my life to fly by. And if I don't do shit, my days fly by. If I do that for a long period of time, my life finna fly by. But if I do shit, and even if I don't want to do it and I still lock in and I do it, you know, I think that's really living. I think that's really living. Whether it's coming on stream when I don't want to, right? Whether it's editing a video, whether it's taking a cold shower, whether it's lifting, whether it's doing cardio, the things you don't want to do where time goes by slow, I think people should actually identify in that and be like, damn, bro, this is actually living when time goes by slow. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. And I would also use that on the vice versa. Like if you were in your back in the olden days when you didn't really have much responsibilities as like a kid per se. Well, your days also last a long time when you're really living again, because you're not just doing bullshit, right? You're really living. You're young, you're hanging out with your friends. You do all these things. You might walk down to the store. You got all this time to do all kinds of stuff. You know, the days are long when you're really living. That's either when you're enjoying yourself or when you're, you know, working on something hard. I know sometimes people are going to say, well, you know, time flies when you're having fun. But I mean, to a degree, but when you look back on all that fun you had, I think you'd be like, damn, you know, that was a lot of stuff that I did, right? And versus just sitting around in the house, letting time expire, watching like a whole season of a TV show or something like that. I don't think that's living. To contrast it, I don't think that's living. You know, I think living is, you know, to the side of like fun, it's doing things, you know, going out on a boat, going fishing, going skiing or something like that. That's really living, you know. Also really living is doing the difficult things. So I just figured I'd point that out to you guys because I think a lot of people, you know, they don't be doing the thing that kind of like makes time go by slow. And it's like, bro, your life finna just pass you by if you don't cherish those times where life goes by slow, you know? I'm just saying. Because on the treadmill, 15 minutes feels like 30. But the second you get off that treadmill, 15 minutes will pass by in like 30 seconds. You know? So what's really living? Doing the easy shit or the hard shit? MGuss says, I feel best when I stay offline for a while. I wouldn't know how that feels because this is my job. Kevin says, I told you that. You have not. MGuss says, I like warm showers, not going to lie. Me too. I don't take much cold showers, to be honest with you. I do at times, though. I'm 26. Shout out to MGal. Hard shit, that's living. Yeah. Hard shit is living. I'm having a hard time explaining to you guys the positive side of like when you're not doing hard shit, you can still be living too. But it's hard to explain. I'll have to have the epiphany again and let you guys know about it. But I'm trying to like think of another way to explain it. I guess that's all I can say. If you kind of experienced this, you would know. But like, you know, you ever had a long day, like a long summer day with the homies, right? You went to the beach, then you walked around, you went to go get some pizza, shit like that. Went to the gas station, maybe hollered at a chick. Then you went to the bar that night for some like dollar beers or some shit. Like, I don't know. That's kind of like, you know, that's also really living. It doesn't have to just be hard shit, but it just has to. Okay, how about this, right? It has to be making the most of your time, you know, making the most of your time. And whether it's doing hard shit or fun shit, that's really living, you know, making the most of your time. But is it fun to lay around and watch a movie? You know, for a little bit, but to waste away a whole day doing that, that's not fun, you know? So I'd say that living is having fun or doing hard shit. But the in between where you're not really doing much, that's not really living. You know, there you go. You know, there you go. Going on a fucking walk outside is pretty much living. You don't really want to do it. You know, it's forcing you to be present. Having fun is living. But doing nothing is not living. Doing nothing is not living, and your life will pass you the fuck by. You know, sitting at home, watching like a whole fucking binge watching a whole season of something, it's not really living. Now we all have our enjoyment, right? We all indulge. So I'm not saying don't indulge. I'm just saying, you know, you should be having fun or you should be doing some hard things to counteract, you know, the times where you're doing nothing, you know, shit, listening to me, right? So you got to counteract that with a little bit of living because you need both. You need both. You need to live and then you need to chill. But I'm afraid, I say that all to say, I'm afraid a lot of people aren't living, boys. I'm afraid a lot of people aren't living. And that's why I'm bringing it to your attention. You know, I'm afraid a lot of people aren't living. Space Kid says, good knowledge, my man. Shout out. How many people we got in here? How many people we got listening to that? Okay, 29 people. Wait, I think. Let me see. 24. 24 people. Not bad. Not bad. Rewatching Breaking Bad episodes equals not living. Exactly. And shit, believe me, when I was in high school, serving a suspension for smoking weed on campus, all right, I watched the whole damn thing. I watched all of Breaking Bad. So don't get it twisted, you know? Don't get it twisted. We can definitely do our fair share of just like, you know, wasting away. But, you know, counteract it. Counteract it a little bit. Go for a walk, do something kind of difficult, or just put it like this too. Just put it like this too, okay? If there's something you're delaying, let's put it like this, because I'm speaking from my own experience. If there's something you're delaying because like you don't want to do it because, you know, you're feeling lazy, flip it in your mind and tell yourself, you know, that's living. You know, that's living. Because what's the other end of procrastinating the task that you don't want to do? You're expiring away, bro. You know, you're literally expiring away. You're probably going to sit there on your phone and scroll. That's expiring away. So that same thing when you're like, oh, you know, I don't want to do my responsibility right now. I don't want to do my homework. I don't want to edit the video. It's like, okay, but I guarantee you, I can almost guarantee you, if you're not going to do that, the other option you're doing is not going out and kicking it with the friends because you still got to do that eventually. You're just delaying time and you're wasting time. You're wasting life. You know, you're wasting life. If there's something you got to do and you can't get anything else done in the day until you do that, meaning go and kick it with friends or do other fun shit, then get that shit out of the way. Don't delay it and just expire until you fucking get it done in the first place. These are deep thoughts. But I'm just saying, you know, I got to get tasks done every single day. And that's something I do tell myself a lot. When I feel like lagging or slacking on the task, I'm like, bro, I'm just going to expire if I don't get the task done. Like, I'm literally just going to expire. Like, I might as well just get the task done. Then I can continue living and do other fun shit, you know? But if I don't get the task done, I'm basically expiring away doom scrolling, doing bullshit until I do it. This is the truth for me, at least. Tony Sal says, you got to flip the script. You feel me? You got to flip the script. You got to flip the script. Trick yourself. MGuy says, some people not living, they just breathing. Exactly. Drew says, I watched it twice. I watched it like 1.5 times. I'm going to be real. I watched it like 1.5 times. Then I started watching Better Call Saul and all that other shit. Space Kiss says, I like this. Good. Good. That's why I was sharing that with you boys. Because I was on the treadmill before this, before I came in. And then I remember I used to always tell myself that. Because I got like this weird fear of like I like to, you know, I like being alive, obviously. But like I also don't want to like I wish I could be young forever, you know? And a way to kind of like, if you just want to be on that alone, right? Don't even worry about when you're 30, 40, 50. It's like if you're in your 20s or you're in your teenage years and you want to be young forever, well then do fun shit or hard shit in those years, and your 20s are going to feel a lot longer. You know, that's another way of saying it. All right. If you want to really, you know, cherish your younger years, do fun shit, do hard shit in that period of time. Your 20s are going to feel like they were a lot longer. But trust me, if you ain't doing shit, your 20s finna fly by, bro. And you're gonna look back when you're 30, 40, 50, and you're gonna be like, damn, in my 20s, I only did these 3 things. Like, you really want to do 3 things in your 20s? Or you want to be somebody who's like older, looking back on your 20s, being like, I used to run 5 miles a day. I used to do this and that. I mean, that's more cool. That's more fun. And I'm telling you, even being able to look back on all the things you did is gonna make it seem like, you know, you lived a full life. So that's what I would say. That's what I would say. Do you think Tsarukyan is fighting BSD or Patty? I think he should rematch Charles, because Patty's coming off a loss, and BSD, he beat Dan Hooker, and that's not a #1 contender fight. I think Arman should fight Oliveira rematch, guy 944. We already know the deal. Shout out to Weed and Breaking Bad in 2015. Good old days. Good old days. I've been smoking weed since like 2015, to be honest. Oh no, I've been smoking weed since like 2012. 2012 I've been smoking weed. All right, so you know, that might just be the stream, but you know, I would like it to right now we're almost about to break 1,000 overall views on the stream. We're at 955, so I'm gonna stay online till we hit the full, till we break a K, because I prefer to at least break a K. But it's been such a slow fucking week, bro, that my numbers on YouTube, like, ugh, it's like, it's killing me. It's killing me. They're not that bad, but it's just like the live streams on this slow week with not much to talk about. A couple live streams have been below, well, actually, really only one live stream. Last night was below 1K. The other live stream from earlier in the week, it was only like an hour-and-a-half live stream anyway, so I didn't even care about really the numbers on that one. But I definitely am trying to break a K every day. And it's much easier when there's a lot of things to talk about. But there's a lot of fans that aren't on YouTube right now searching for MMA news because there's not much to search about. HT says, I want Patty fight Holloway. HT, can you take my money, or can you HT, that's probably one of the best thoughts I heard all day, to be honest with you. No glaze, but like I really like that thought. You know, Patty versus Holloway, both coming off of losses. I told you I'm not the biggest fan of Holloway advocating to fight McGregor. I don't know why. I'm not, but it's just because I'm so like spaced out of like all this stuff that they've been giving us, bro. I just want a little bit of merit back, you know? Honestly, I just want a little bit of merit back. It's like we've gone so against the merit system. I'm not saying I'm fully into the rankings, but I'm just saying I would like a little bit of merit back. And Holloway McGregor is like the same story. that we keep getting. And it's like Holloway McGregor ain't no McGregor Diaz 3, you know. Connor beat Max when they were both kids, when they were both like less than a few fights in the UFC. Yes, I would like to see it eventually, but like at this point in time, Patty versus Holloway or Patty versus Connor, I'm taking Patty versus Holloway. Let's do a poll. Patty. Okay, who should Holloway fight next? Patty, McGregor, or Gamrot, because Gamrot got knocked out by Charles, right? Or subbed, one of the two. That'd be great for White House card. It would be. Yeah, see, Jew. Yeah, I think that's also kind of providing a bit more context. It's like, I'm tired of these dudes. What Jew says is, I'm tired of these dudes getting a chance to redeem a loss against Prime McGregor now that he's washed. It's like, I mean, I think you perfectly said it, homie. Like, I think you perfectly said it. Wow, you know, respect for that one too, because like I say, it's not easy to just say the truth like that. You know, it's not easy to do that. People will often stop themselves from even speaking the truth like that because they think they're being mean or like these things. But no, that is the truth, bro. That's the fucking truth. Dude's getting a chance to redeem a loss against Prime McGregor now that he's washed. You know, now that he's washed, now they want to redeem it. And it is true. It is true, bro. Let's call a spade, bro. Let's call a spade a spade. And it's like, I don't think that, and I'll say it like this, right? I don't think that Max Holloway is just targeting McGregor because he thinks he's washed. I'm sure Holloway would have taken the fight 3-4 years ago, you know, when McGregor returned to fight Dustin, you know, before it was like proven that he was washed and shit like that. But just the whole thing, I'm not really for it. Because, you know, McGregor's not that good anymore, and like Max is on a different level, and it's like I don't really want to see it. Connor versus Nate was going to be cool because I did see them as being on a similar level still. But Max Holloway, he's still competing with the best of them, so like why not keep doing that? Well, because he wants to get his money. And it's like, oh gosh. All right. Let's drop the politics again because homie wants to get paid. So there's always these little things that trump the merit. And right now I'm just like, bro, fuck trumping merit. I want merit for a little bit. Give me merit for a little bit, and then let's go back to the other shit. But like just for a little bit, you know? Tony Sal laughing at Gamrot. Gamrot would actually be good to test the wrestling. Yeah, why not? It's got to be Chandler or Nate. Yeah. Yeah, Chandler or Nate. Somebody Connor's level. Somebody Connor's level. Max, you got the dub, homie. We all think you beat that ass. BTA twice on Sunday. So like, you know, take that, you know. You don't need to fight him. We just chalking it up like you got that dub. Like you'd beat him again, Max. Okay, now go fight Patty Pimblett. We want to see you fight Patty. Chandler and Nate is perfect. Hey, shout out to you boys for staying up late with me though. It's definitely something I appreciate. So I just wanted to express that because anybody being up at 1:49 listening to me, it's like, damn, you know, I definitely appreciate it. We almost breaking 1,000. We almost breaking 1,000. Stick with me, boys. We got 973 views on the evening. It took 3 hours and 20 minutes to get these 970 something views. Sometimes we get a K in like the first hour, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like the news is so slow this week. Trust me. It's been taking me like 2.5 hours to break a K. Today it's taken me 3.5 hours to break a K. I'm telling you, we've broken like 3K in like an hour in the past. Super slow. We some midnight goons. We burning the midnight oil. But this is what I was saying earlier in the stream when I was like, you know, we like this is what I expect in the late night streams, you know? Like we not like normies. You feel me? We crazy. We staying up till 2 a.m. We crazy. We not normies. We don't give a fuck. You know, we drink coffee at 9 p.m. at night. We really just don't give a fuck. You know, I actually used a little bit of self-control and didn't drink my 3rd cup of coffee. But like, you know, We don't give a fuck. We not normies. We stay up as late as we fucking want to. No rules, you know? No rules. We just get our shit done no matter what. That's kind of how I live my life, you know? I don't got no rules. I live my life however the fuck I want to live my life. I do whatever the fuck I want. At the end of the day, the only rule I got is get your shit done, you know? Whether I go to bed at 5 a.m. tonight or 3 a.m., shit, best believe I'm finna get my shit done tomorrow. You already know I'm getting my shit done tomorrow, no matter what. I will not go to bed without my shit not getting done. And as long as you do that shit, you could drink coffee whenever you want. You could do whatever the fuck you want, boys. You could do whatever the fuck you want, boys. Just follow that one principle. Every day I'm getting all my shit done, you know, no matter what the fuck I do. Why would you want to test Holloway wrestling against Gamrot? How boring. I just want to see a crazy, bloody, striking Holloway Patty fight. Well, if I have to pick between Holloway wrestling Gamrot or Holloway striking Patty, you already have my answer. Guy says, just hashtag Nina Drama and you'll hit 1K easily. I should have hashtagged Nina Drama today. I hashtagged other shit instead. Like Ariel Helwani. That probably fucked up my views having Ariel in the thumbnail and shit. Whatever. Ruby Z says Space Kid loving the late night streams. Space Kid is actually I would say like Space Kid, Jew, HT, they definitely fuck with the late nights the most. Space Kid like disappointed when I don't do 11 p.m. streams. Like Space Kid, he's expressed it in the past. He's like, I like the 11 p.m. streams though. But I fuck with it. Shit, we got a 2 a.m. stream tonight, homie. Guy says, I try to shit in the morning, not at night. Well, I know I drank coffee, but I'm not going to be shitting until the morning. And I don't have to shit right now. But I do feel you. I feel you, guy. I feel you for that one. Avoiding caffeine in the evening to not take a shit. I mean, I get it. But my thing is, if I got to take a shit, I'm finna take a shit whenever. Sorry about that. That was crazy, wasn't it? That was crazy. That was crazy. My bad about that one. That was my bad. I got too comfortable there. Yeah, Franklin even said, though, he's like, we need Merritt for a little bit. Max against Connor sounds clown. It does. Hey, Guy944, make sure you subscribe, homie. Make sure you subscribe, homie, because we live every night for a total of 90 days straight. We've been live for like 30 plus. Space Kid says, I work at night, bro, and what the fuck? with the gas, with the mask emoji is crazy. But, okay, bet, Space Kid, bet. Shit, hopefully I'm making the shift go by a bit faster. Shit, Space Kid hacked the system. He having fun listening to the stream, and then he also doing the hard shit working at the same time. That's really living. He having fun and not having fun at the same damn time. Well, shit, hopefully Space Kid likes what he does. So I won't assume that he not having fun at work. But if he's not having fun at work, he hacked the system. Tony Sal laughing. Ruby Z with the gas emoji. Shit, I had to rip ass, boys. My bad, my bad. My bad. I usually mute it too. But we were talking about taking shits. And then I just let out the fart. Someone's deleting my comments. Perry, let him know. No one's deleting him, homie. No one's deleting him, I promise you. I would not stand for that. I would not stand for that. All right, boys. Well, we're about to hit 1K, so I will hop on out of here. We had a decent stream, though. 3 hours and 30 minutes. I mean, come on now. Come on now. All right, though, boys. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow, and so if we go UFC fight night, yeah, it's YouTube shadowing. You got to misspell it, Manny. I'll apologize for YouTube, but you got to misspell it. So tomorrow, boys, I'm going to go live from the beginning. You know, and either I'm going to just be fucking miserable or I'm going to enjoy this card, but I'm going live from the beginning because I think this card's going to be good. You know, Ricky Simone, Adrian Yanez, Navajo Sterling, Bruno, like I'm going to try to watch this shit, you know? So I'm a tune in right after this woman's fight that kicks off the card. I'm a tune in. Marcin Tybura, Tyrell Fortune, Lance Gibson, Chase Hooper, like I'm going to watch all these. Ignacio, I might have disrespected Ignacio, so let's see what he can do. You know, but I'm going to be watching pretty much this whole card. And then once I'm live for this, I'll be live for everything else. You know, RAF 07, PFL Pittsburgh. We really only care about the main event there, so it works out fine. And then whatever else events are on tomorrow. Oh, yeah, Thurman versus Fundora. You know, we're going to be keeping up with that one. And that's going to be pretty much it. Keith Thurman versus Sebastian Fundora, UFC Seattle, RAF 07, and PFL Pittsburgh. So tune in tomorrow. After the first fight on UFC Seattle, I will be live, boys. That's a promise. That's a promise, okay? That's a straight promise. You can get on my ass about that if I am not live after the first fight on UFC Seattle. I will be going live for Ricky Simone, Adrian Yanez tomorrow. The card starts at 3 p.m. Pacific, or sorry, 2 p.m. Pacific. So count on me being live tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. Pacific sharp. Okay, 2:30 p.m. Pacific sharp. I will be here, boys, and I expect to see a lot of you boys in here as well. If not, it's no sweat. Don't even trip about it. All right? But peace out to everybody. Thanks for watching. Yoel main event. Manny, that's in Russia. I have a feeling that's going to be early tomorrow. Let me look. If we got time, if we're live and Yoel's fighting, you know we'll watch it. But yeah, see, so Yoel Romero's fighting at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Franklin says, oh, we got a good card finally, about to research. I'm hoping it's a good card, homie. Hopefully, like, I don't get tortured again because I actually have high hopes for this card. I'm not talking shit. So if I talk shit, it's fully fucking deserved tomorrow. Shit. Don't get me to talk shit. I don't even want to, bro. I want to be nice to these guys for one time. I want to be positive about these guys and give them their shine. Just fucking don't be some clowns. We're going to have to miss Yoel. Yeah, we're going to have to miss Yoel. 9 a.m. is crazy. I'm finna still be sleeping. I won't be going to bed for another 2 hours at least. But all right, anyway, boys, best that I get off now and get some shut-eye. You know, sooner I get off, the sooner I get some shut-eye. But shout out, oh, let me end this poll. 62% say Patty, so shout out to HT. You know, you were on the money with that one. All right. Oh, I got a little congestion. Okay. Oh my God. Shout out to Jew. Shout out to Franklin. Shout out to Tony Sal. Shout out to Manny. Shout out to Space Kid. Shout out to Ruby Z. Shout out to Guy944. Make sure you subscribe, homie. Thanks for hopping in the chat this evening. Shout out to Manny Maron. I know I've already shouted out a couple of you guys twice. Shout out to HT. As you guys can tell, I'm tired as fuck. My attention, like my memory is off. I'm forgetting things that happened like 10 seconds ago. Shout out to M Gal, my man M Gal. Shout out Kevin from Chicago. Shout out to Buyer Seller. Sorry about not having any calls tonight, boys. I hope you understand. We're just chopping it up. Shout out to Andrew Wave. Good to see you in here, homie. Shout out to Bloodhound Lil Jeff, and thanks again for becoming a member, my brother. I will be making that change in the descriptions, in the video descriptions, so thank you for that. Shout out to my boy Tom for dropping in the chat. Shout out to Perfecto as always. Loyal Perfecto. Shout out Dundaughter for being first again. Clap it up for Dundaughter, everybody. MMAK, new subscriber, MMAK, so shout out. I'll see you in the streams. Useless was in here, so shout out to Useless. Cupcake popped in. AJD popped in. Shout out to you, boys. Jez DeMoose, shout out, homie. Chain Fire Mech Warrior, shout out, homie. Love seeing the regulars in here. Okay, that's all I got, though. I scrolled to the very top. No more. No more names I can see. Anyways, boys, I'll see you tomorrow for the live stream and Fight Companions. Tune in. We got a big day ahead of us tomorrow. I said 2:30 Pacific. I will be live on YouTube, so tap in, boys. Thank you, everybody, for watching this late night stream. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.